Let's turn the crowd upside down if I ever saw it. I don't think that big fella intends to sit down with that chair. Oh my God! Jason's static now. Tight! Two! That was as close as it can get.
It's Friday night. That means it's time for the Don Tony Show.
You've waited all week, and now it's finally here. Get Don Tony's perspective on current affairs in the world of pro wrestling and beyond.
And now, your host, the man, the legend, Don Tony.
I am so tired. And you mean to tell me they're opening Dynamite with Warlow versus Jake Hager MMA rules? I mean, I know Darby Allin is their darling, but I was kind of looking forward to that match having a little bit more meaning to it. Then again, it is Friday night. It is already 10 o'clock at night. By midnight, probably less fans will be tuning into AEW. So maybe this is the wise way to go. Anyway, good evening, everybody. I look a little bit disheveled, and for good reason. I muted the mic so you didn't hear that. This is the Don Tony Show. I am Don Tony, and let me let everybody know what has transpired for yours truly since last night. We finished the show last night around, 1 o'clock in the morning? Had a great time. Put everything online, fell asleep around 2:30 in the morning, got up at 6:30, jumped in the shower, got to the office at 8, and then I worked nonstop until around 4 o'clock, picked up the soon-to-be missus, and we went out to a diner. First time since COVID started that we honestly felt like it was a true dinner date night. Like COVID didn't feel like it was lingering. Nobody was really wearing masks, and the numbers are so low. So we had nice dinner, but we needed to speed things up rapido because I came home at 7 o'clock, logged on to WWE Thunderdome, and yes, this is a screenshot of yours truly from earlier. Yes, I dressed as Deli Man. I wore the New York shirt because, they go in your ear, WWE, and if you wear anything that might insinuate another promotion or something else, or even if it's not necessarily a derogatory shirt, and I didn't just want to wear a regular T-shirt. So I wore the New York jersey, and yes, I was seen a few times tonight. Right now, AEW, they're still announcing Wardlow and Jake Hager. So nothing has started yet. And we're obviously going to do a little watch-along while we're talking about tonight's show. So Thunderdome, if you go back and you watch the tag match with General Azeez and Apollo Crews versus Big E and Kevin Owens, you will see me multiple times on the left side, on the camera side, but a little bit to the left. I'll take a screenshot tomorrow and I'll put it online so everybody could see where the look. I didn't have a good vision tonight because the thing is, as Deli Man, I can't fit glasses inside the mask, and I'd look like the absolute goof wearing glasses outside the mask. So I was squinting. I couldn't really see anything, and I had a goddamn workout. Because they're telling you, all right, everybody, energy, and I'm dancing, and I'm doing this, and I'm like 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 this. after an hour, it's like, tired. And by the way, Ted DiBiase was our host today, which was pretty cool. I actually recorded a couple little segments behind the scenes at Thunderdome so you could get a good idea as far as what they tell you and what they want you to do that I've always talked about before. I can't play it here because I'm too nervous that WWE will hit me with a copyright, infraction. But Ted DiBiase was our host tonight, and it was pretty cool. He's like, all right, everybody, energy. All right, General Azeez is coming out. Loud boos. And I tell you, if any of you out there were in Thunderdome tonight, you heard Ted DiBiase in an element that, I never really heard before. I mean, when Bianca Belair was cutting her promo on Bayley and she was making a couple of one-liners, Ted DiBiase would go on the microphone and you'd hear him say, oh, everybody get off your seat for that one. Oh, she nailed that one. It was pretty awesome. The only thing about Thunderdome now that is a lot more apparent than before is all that noise that you hear from the soundboard, the cheering, the jeering, the you suck. We don't hear any of that. It is almost silence. We didn't hear any of that piped in noise. So there was points that we really couldn't make out, how, the sound was reacting in the crowd, but not a bad SmackDown. Not a bad SmackDown. Now Wardlow and Jake Hager, they are now in the ring. Both do not have any shoes on. They would be perfect candidates for the next All Elite Feet contest. That was a pretty fun contest yesterday. By the way, much love to everybody live. I will give some shout-outs in a couple of moments. Let's talk about this. Now, they're doing 3 rounds. I guess each round is 4 minutes. So we are 3 minutes, 45 seconds left in round 1. And the funny thing about it is the first lockup looked like pro wrestling. It looked like pro wrestling. They're just feeling each other out right now. I tell you, there's nice little energy in the air. Nice little energy in the air at Daly's place. And well, obviously the ring should look like an octagon because, MMA rules. They probably rented the ring from a local promotion, obviously. Jake Hager and Warlow kind of exchanging some smiles. I think they're actually getting into this, but I will tell you, the first minute into this match, very, very boring. Jake Hager with a kick to Wardlow's calf. Wardlow shaking it off. Shake it off. By the way, Karrion Kross and Bronson Reed were backstage at SmackDown today. I know some people out there, for real, as soon as they heard that, dark matches. So WWE management could see their champions. We got to get up close and personal and see what these guys are doing. I got water all over me. And I put the keyboard on the right side for tonight. Got a little dribble on there. WWE wanted to see Bronson Reed and Karrion Kross in person. They wanted to see live and in person what they're paying for and the champions in NXT. So as far as call-ups or anything like that, please, premature ejaculation. Think about the storylines that are going on right now and think about the people that are getting pushed on Raw and SmackDown. And you tell me how either one of them would leapfrog so many others. Do I want to see Karrion Kross on the main roster? Fuck yeah. Do I want to see Bronson Reed on the main roster? Fuck yeah. But once that happens, what's going to happen? Bronson Reed's going to be the next Keith Lee. They're not going to know what to do with them. You know they're going to impress management. You know whoever they're going to... Maybe they'll take on each other in a dark match. We're not going to see that dark match, by the way. But Papo Jr., what's up, my friend? I'll acknowledge you in a moment. Okay, this honestly is looking a little bit lame. Wardlow with a takedown of Jake Hager and Wardlow with some errant punches. If you've ever seen Jake Hager in an MMA fight, Jake Hager would, and you know me, I am a fan of Wardlow. But the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm saying to myself, this is kind of a mistake. Because Jake Hager should hand him his ass right now. They're exchange. Not only they exchange, I got to be honest with you, man. I'm not one to complain about everything. You know that. But I'm looking at Jake Hager. Oh, what the hell did you do, Wardlow? Jake Hager is throwing punches like this. He's throwing punches like this. If you did that in an MMA fight, you might as well take your gloves off, eat them, and shit them out. And then Wardlow, like, kicks Hager and then backs off, I guess, expecting Hager to hit him with some type of move. I tell you, I'm not enjoying this. I mean, I don't know what the purpose this was. Okay, so round one is over. Now, as us wrestling fans, I'll tell you straight up, my opinion. If Jake Hager was not as good as an MMA fighter that I have seen, then I would have said, you know, this isn't half bad. But to see Jake Hager looking like I don't know, a pile of mush. This is, I don't know, I'm not particular. And you know what's funny, dudes and dudettes out there? You know what's funny? Didn't we just see them all, you know, blowing their load, taking in the dark side of the ring, brawl for all? I mean, I understand Jake Hager is an MMA guy and everything like that, but AEW is a wrestling promotion. And you're taking them out of the element that you pay them for. And if they get hurt doing MMA stuff, you know, tell me what's different. Tell me what's different. Didn't some of the people that were in Brawl for All, didn't they, like, box in their earlier career? Didn't some of them claim that they could kick ass in a bar? So they really weren't out and out. Tell me what's different about this. Too much wrestling stuff on here. Seriously. Jake Hager would have just grabbed Wardlow's leg and take him down right now. They're like hugging. You know, we're not going to go there. I think some people probably knew what I was about to say. What is Wardlow doing? He's like giving him love taps on his side. What is he doing? He's literally, this is like that Dark Order Dustin Rhodes stuff. He's literally punching Hager's, like, side of his elbow. Oh, man, this is not good. This is not good. And I'm sorry, everyone. I'm not trying to shit on this. I was looking forward to this match more than anything else tonight. And, again, if Jake Hager, you know, I don't know. I never really seen Wardlow's MMA experience. Maybe he has some. But knowing what Jake Hager can do, to see this, this is a joke. What the hell was that? Oh, my God, you got to go back and look. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in round two. Hager literally just did something like this. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Do you see me Oh, my God, if your 95-year-old grandmother on her deathbed, like, saw you and you went to hug her and she, like, opened her eyes up and she thought you were going to, like, attack her and she went like this, she probably would have done more damage than what Hager just did. This is not good. Wardlow took down Hager, and he took him about 6 inches from off the mat. This is not good. I'm not feeling this. Hager looks like he's about to go into the ankle lock, but he obviously can't really do it. The match would be over right now. The match would be over right fucking now. This is scripted MMA rules. Look at Jake Hager, 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in round two, and the ankle lock he just put in. If this was legit MMA rules, the match would have been over. This is MMA scripted. Not a good formula. Not a good formula. Sorry, I'm not feeling this. What the fuck was that cartwheel he just did? Oh, nice spear. Oh, yeah, punch him in the elbow again. Another punch in the forearm. Yeah, you punched the mat. Oh, yeah. Put the triangle, but yeah, you just roll him into the corner so you could grab the mesh. Grab the mesh. Oh, they grabbed the mesh. You can't do anything about it, but somehow Warlow will kick out of this. That's it. Warlow, yeah. Kick your left leg. You're going to roll around, and somehow Hager is going to break off. Watch. He's going to roll to his right. 1 minute, 34 seconds into this round 2. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Hager is somehow, look, he broke the hold, and Warlow did nothing. What, did Warlow just fart and Hager got nauseous? This is not good. Tony Khan, man. You can't say that too fast. I meant like Tony Khan, man. Tony Khan, man. If you say it too fast, it's like Tony Khan, man. Khan, man. This was not good. The only thing impressive so far is when Hager is knees down, you could see he's got a nice big ball sack over there. You know, and I don't like my M&Ms with peanuts. I respect anybody that does. Did he choke him out? That's it? He choked him out. This was not good. This was not good. And I'm not even a fan of MMA. That was a fucking joke. Seriously. That was not good. So anyway, I went straight from Thunderdome. I disconnected my feed 5 minutes before SmackDown went off the air. I took the mask off. I didn't even have a chance to put it back. Now it looks like Al Snow's head from ECW. You know, the styrofoam heads. I didn't get a chance to put the mask back. I literally took the mask off, made myself a bottle of sparkling water, took a leak, combed my hair, and turned the server on, and I am here. So it has been non-stop since 6:30 this morning. I am exhausted. Sean Spears kicking Jake Hager. Jericho hitting Sean Spears. Wardlow now hitting Jericho. He's being doubled. Yeah, and so Sean Spears, for some reason, just fell on the floor for no reason. I'm not feeling this, man. Here comes MJF. Crypto coin MJF. We talked about that yesterday. So if anybody's going to ask about the crypto stuff, we had a great conversation yesterday. You know, that's it. MJF is working on Jericho's injured elbow. And Aubrey Edwards is like, stop. You look at it. She's like, stop it already. Stop. Where are all the other officials? Are they all taking a shit in the back? Seriously. Are they looking for Willie Urbina and asking them, Dushita? MJF threatening to punch Dean Malenko. None of the referees come out, but Dean Malenko does. What are they going to do? They're going to reenact Ted DiBiase? There you go. Ted DiBiase takes the bump. Now an AEW legend needs to take a bump. Saw that a mile away. This is a little too fucking predictable. I like to be surprised a little bit. Oh, now look at all the referees. There's like 7 of them out now. Yeah, now. Because Dean Malenko got his ass handed to him. The man of 1,004 holds. I loved Dean Malenko back in the day. I cannot crack jokes about him. Sammy Guevara trying to get at MJF. Why is Sammy so pissed off that Dean Malenko got his ass handed to him? Oh, my God. Hey, I'd appreciate everybody who's tuning in if you could give the show a thumbs up. Let's get to 50 early. Let's smash that thumbs up. By the way, we will do a little SmackDown recap while we do this watch along. We will do Hell in a Cell predictions. I will try to make sense of why they moved the Rey Mysterio Roman Reigns match to SmackDown. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a big boost in the rating. And I got to be honest with you. Looking at this card for Hell in a Cell, I mean, this does not feel impressive at all. I mean, I brought this up previously. This is going to be almost the last pay-per-view without live fans. And if you're going to do a themed pay-per-view without live fans, Hell in a Cell is probably the one you want to do it for, because with the cage, you could manipulate, you could tweak. Thunderdome, I know I've said it 1,000 times, but even though I was positioned on the left side of the ring, doesn't mean that my vantage point is the left side of the ring. What I see on the screen is what you see at home on TV. So they could pre-record things. They could have things set up right next to the cage. Shit, you could have someone literally just crawl underneath the cage from the other side without a camera on them. Nobody in Thunderdome would see it. There's none of the LED screens say, I just saw him go into the ring. So that was probably the one to do this for. But man, what a lackluster card. What a lackluster card. And what is it with WWE now? I mean, I know they always give women their fair bulk of the matches. They get more time than they have gotten in previous years. But ever since that thing with Mickie James with the NWA stuff, Mish and I talked about it on Monday. We have 4 women's matches on Monday. Now we have Hell in a Cell, and right now for Hell in a Cell, you got 6 matches announced, and half of them are the women's matches. I have nothing against women having half the matches. But you look at all those matches that are not going to be on Hell in a Cell, and we need to see Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler. Why? So Reginald could go into a trance? And for what? Seriously, you look at all of the titles that are not being defended at Hell in a Cell. You look at some of the feuds out there. I mean, I understand Sheamus because Sheamus is still injured. But, you got the Raw tag titles, nothing's going on. The SmackDown tag titles are now in fucking purgatory because Dominic is out indefinitely. And by the way, why did Michael Cole say tonight that Rey Mysterio's dreams were shattered? Dreams of what? Dreams of Santa Ana? Remember that song, the Mexican? Dreams of Santa Ana? What do you mean dreams? It was revenge tonight. It wasn't dreams about being Universal Champion. He wanted to kick Roman Reigns' ass. Rey Mysterio's dreams have been shattered tonight. Oh, come on, man. Yes, Julia Hart and Penelope Ford will be performing on Dynamite tonight. So, by the way, since I have a couple of moments, I'd like to give a shout out to everybody who is joining me live at the present moment. I'd like to give some super chat shout outs if you don't mind. SoFlyBmOrE. Roman Reigns is the best wrestler in the world. You can't point out one flaw. You would have to look hard to find one. Roman Reigns is doing a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. If there's any flaw, and that's not to his fault, is his title reign has been all smoke and mirrors. There's never been a time since he's had that championship that I felt suspension of disbelief that there was any chance of him losing it. I think that is reason number one why this match was moved from Hell in a Cell to SmackDown. I personally think that whether Roman Reigns wrestled Rey on Sunday or not, fans were tuning in no matter what. You're not going to find any fans online that are going to say, Roman Reigns is not fighting on Sunday, then I'm not going to watch it. It's on Peacock now. Think WWE cares? Peacock is going to get mad, not us. I don't know if anybody ever thought about it like that. WWE now could kind of like skimp a little bit. And if fans, yes, the international fans is a little different, but complain to Peacock. WWE, they still got their money. The money. So I think Roman Reigns versus Rey Mysterio, I think the outcome was too predictable. And I think that they felt they needed to give a women's match a Hell in a Cell stipulation inside the cell. And they weren't going to do it with Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. I don't know why. But they decided to do it with Bianca Belair and Bayley. Now, I'm not saying that Bianca Belair and Bayley are not going to be able to handle this. I think they will do just fine. But, this feud is like laughing at each other and bullying and cutting promos and laughing and more laughing. And, it doesn't have that bitter hatred, I got to destroy you inside the cell. I don't have that vibe. What's going to happen? Bayley's going to take Bianca, throw her off the cell, and then she's going to look at her and go, Hell in a Cell supposed to be evil, like a vendetta that can't be solved any other way? We got Team Taz in the back. Brian Cage is nowhere around. Green Hook is there. Ricky Starks, having the same allergic itch that I have on my nose. Okay. Hangman Page versus Hobbs next Saturday. Oh, wow. Wow. I can't wait. But meanwhile, the Brian Cage turn now eats up a week with no follow-up. What do we get next? All right, next match. Whoa. Oh. Congrats to Cody. Congrats to Brandy Rhodes. I just realized something. If anybody's watching Dynamite right now, do you realize what is happening tonight? Yesterday, we did All Elite Feet, that contest, and we didn't use Brandy's feet in the contest, but I was talking about, that she's about to give birth any day now. Well, sure enough, I think this morning, she gave birth. Liberty Iris. Liberty Iris. Beautiful baby girl. I haven't seen the pictures of the baby. I've seen the hand. Cute. Congrats to both of them. But I think we just realized what's happening tonight. Cody and Brock Anderson are going to main event Dynamite. I mean, okay, maybe nice little present for Cody. He's now a dad. We're going into Father's Day weekend. But as a wrestling fan and as a smart promoter, who the fuck wants to see QT Marshall and Aaron Solow versus Cody and Brock Anderson as a main event? They could I could picture Paul Heyman cutting a promo for Brock Anderson, but he's got to do a combination of both. He's got to do Brock Anderson. The American Dream's granddaughter is named Liberty. I have no problem with that. Cute name. I don't have any issues with the name at all. I mean, I saw some of the wise-ass responses online. Look, he gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Congrats to the couple. Parenthood, that's special. I know there's people out there that do not like Cody. I'm not thrilled about some of the stuff and the decision making we see, but I express it more in an opinion than anything else. But, I'm not going to joke about the kid or the parents, but, who the fuck wants to see that in the main event? Seriously. Even if you're a diehard AEW fan, I could see if that's maybe like match 1 or match 2, but you're going to go off the air. Right now we have Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page in the handicap match. I thought this was going off the air. Darby Allin is their darling. He main events a lot of episodes of Dynamite. So now you have him Brock Anderson and Aaron Solow. I mean, I don't know. Not for nothing. I freaking like Nick Camarado. I've been praising him since the first day I saw him in Dynamite. But him main eventing an episode of Dynamite, and then you see some random members of the Dark Order main eventing an episode of Dynamite, and then you see some of the names, and I'm saying to myself, what is it? I mean, do they just every week pull a name out of a hat that hasn't main evented Dynamite yet, and we're going to just give everybody at least one shot? I mean, that's nice and everything, but, you got to organize this shit a little bit better. I mean, it feels like they're blowing their load the first 30 minutes of this show, I mean, they must maybe anticipate some not so great numbers for hour 2. So, SoFly, thank you again for that super chat. And I hope you're feeling better emotionally. I know you were having a little bit of a rough break the other day. And you know there's a lot of people out here that are really supporting you. And by the way, I want to make a little announcement here. I have a Discord channel, okay? And I had to make a decision today which way I want to go with my half fit. Me and Mish and I set up that Discord channel, and I do not want to hurt that channel because Mish utilizes it wonderfully, and there is a lot of good people that do pass by Discord. But there is a core group of people out there that, you know, are just trolls, and a nice portion of them like dominate that chat day in and day out. And I've had some of you out there plug some of my stuff, and people will make little wise-ass remarks, and then they'll delete their comment, not realizing I could see it on the audit log later on. And let me tell you what happened today, and this is actually an announcement for all of you out there, and I think you're going to really enjoy this announcement. I posted a video preview, and when I post video, when I launch like an upcoming episode that's going to air on YouTube, like Hell in a Cell this Sunday, I'm going to do the recap. This Monday's Breakfast Soup Raw. When I get the episode ready and I release it online and people are notified that, okay, here's the next episode, I had it set up on Discord that Discord is notified immediately of anything I publish on YouTube. Even if I have it, and Lee is saying I'm speaking the truth right now, I want you to understand why you will never see me doing podcasts with some former host ever again, and you see why I always address a lot of these people online, okay? So whenever I release an episode, it notifies Discord right away, and a preview pops up, even if it's an unlisted episode. So today, I put up the preview for Hell in a Cell, and I did it in my office on my coffee break because I knew I wanted to go out with my fiance after work, and I knew as soon as I got home from eating that I was going to go right on Thunderdome, and I knew right after Thunderdome, and I don't want to stay up till 5 this morning, you know, late tonight to do all this stuff. So I snuck it in and I did it. So Discord was the only channel to see the preview of Hell in a Cell's recap that I'm going to do. And there was about 6 people, 7 people chatting at the time. It was on there for 15 seconds. And I checked the YouTube. And I've done this in the past to test it, and there were 3 thumbs down. 3 of those 6 people, Mish was in there as well. And I know Mish obviously is not one of them. But 3 of those 6 people, they get their jollies out of throwing thumbs down at my stuff. Now, I don't give a shit about thumbs down, but here's my point, okay? A lot of these people, when the shit happened with myself and Kevin Castle, all right? And, you know, look, it sucks that it ended the way it did, but the bottom line is that over a period of time, I'm getting DMs from people saying like, yo, your boy's not too thrilled about you right now. And I'd see things and I'd be like, you know, yours truly is an asshole. So, you know, sometimes I deserve it. And then once the YouTube stuff launched, what was being said publicly and what was being said privately was 2 totally different things. And anybody that's ever given me DMs, not just from him, but other podcasters out there, some wonderful people, it would shock you what some of them say behind my back. And when anybody ever gives that to me, I always say to them, can I put this out there? No, please. Don't mention my name. Don't post it out there, because even if you don't post my name, the person will know exactly who had the conversation with them and this and that. So finally, somebody said to me, yeah, post it online. Do whatever you want with it. You know, I'm kind of sick about all this bullshit that's being thrown your way. So I posted the screenshot. You know what happened? A boatload of people out there weren't upset about all these things that were being said behind my back and the backstabbing and the two-face and this and that. But they got mad at the person who gave me the DM. And you know what the apology was that was given to me at that time? if you go back and you look at it, the response was that somebody was baited into saying that. Instead of just saying, all right, look, I was pissed off at this, and that. But no, this person baited me into saying that. So I started looking at other DMs and said, oh, this baited? This podcast, this is that. Everybody claims they're baited into saying things about people, yet nobody ever shows, did I do anything like that? Because if I have a problem with someone, I'll just say it. I get my mouth in trouble. So some of these people in this Discord channel are the same people. And by the way, this match is very, very boring right now. I mean, it has been methodical, gaga. It's a handicap match, and they're just, move Darby Allin on the mat, selling it. They're overly confident. And right now Ethan Page was just tagged in. And that Darby Allin is now going to get the upper hand. There you go. Look, there's the fruit roll-up. It's not going to get the 3, though. Yeah, just the 2. But there's the fruit roll-up. There you go. So now it gets methodical again. But anyway, here's the bottom line, what I was saying before. Some of these people today that are always doing that shit with the thumbs down are the people that got mad at me for changing stuff on shows, got mad at the messenger who gave me stuff, and finally somebody said you could post it, instead of having a problem about the whole situation all. So I removed all my YouTube stuff from that Discord. No more alerts. And I'm only going to use Discord when I have to do a Patreon show. That's it. So what I decided to do today is I decided to create an additional channel on that Discord page. Give me about a week to have it completely set up, because I know other than Mish, no one out there is going to help me. But we're going to have a Discord channel for our great YouTube family out there. And this way, because I love the vibe that you all give chatting on YouTube. I mean, Thursdays is something special, and Mondays is fun, obviously, Wednesdays and Fridays. I mean, the vibe on the chat room is awesome. And I thought to myself, I'm like, why can't we continue those chats when shows are not occurring? And I realized there's really no place for you to have an immediate chat with some of your fellow friends out there that hang out during my shows. So next week I am going to launch a channel, a section on that Discord channel that is only available for you. Not for those other trolls, not for the haters out there, for all of you. So now during lunch, you want to stop by and chat a little bit. Near wants to talk about this. Ken, Nick, Dayhawk, Soulfly. We're going to have a section on there just for my YouTube family. They will not have access for it, and I will be the only moderator of it. I mean, Lee could do it as well, but I'll probably do it by invite only. And that's it. That's it. So that's going to be coming up in about a week. We'll have a really nice place where we can chat when shows aren't occurring. Right now, Darby Allin and Ethan Page took their fight outside the ring. Ethan Page just opened up a toolbox and grabbed a pair of pliers. All right, what is he going to do with the pliers? Okay, it looks like he might have loosened something. What was the purpose of the pliers if you're just going to throw them head first in the corner post? Eddie, you can talk about whatever you want in that chat. I probably will not make it NSFW because I think people, maybe I'll make 2 channels. Maybe I'll make one not safe for work and make one safe for work. I just, want to make an area where we can all hang out and talk, because I can't tell you how many times, like if I get like a little break in my office or something's going down and I want to just hit a little video. And, Twitter's not the most fun place to be. And I can't even enjoy my own Discord channel because, a certain group of people have hijacked it. So I figure instead of doing anything that could hurt that channel, I'm going to expand it. So next week that will launch. So you could post bikini shots and stuff like that, but I don't think we want to go there and start posting nudes because then you don't know where to draw the line. And I'm not saying that anybody would do anything purpose, but I think we want to keep it, PG, but not G. All right? So, Deoc, you know, I enjoyed Twitter the last 2 weeks, I'm not going to lie. But I also do realize that in the mix of Twitter, there's a lot of haters and lurkers and trolls in between it. And I know if we just communicate in the community section on YouTube or on a Discord channel just for us, that, you know, it's going to be, you don't have to worry about being happy about something and having people rip you for it. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page just beat Darby Allin. I'll tell you the truth, this was kind of an uneventful match. I mean, it was very slow, very methodical. We're already at 10:41 p.m. He hit the razor's edge, and Ethan Page with the pin. Razor's edge, but he did get his ass handed to him outside the ring. So, you know, they did. You know why they did the handicap match? Because they wanted to give Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky a win. And if it's a handicap match, Darby Allin did everything he could. He put up the good fight, but 2-on-1 just wasn't good enough. That's why, Sting, please stay home. You probably won't hear Darby Allin tell Sting, stay home for the next 2 years. You know what? We may get Penta, Eddie Kingston, and Frankie Kazarian versus Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Matt Jackson and the Good Brothers, I should say. We may get that as the main event. We get that as the main event. Okay, I can handle that. Next, we're going to have Orange Cassidy versus Cezar Bononi. Oh, yeah, nice analogy. I don't care about trolls anymore. But I wanted to mention that tonight because we're going to launch that channel for everybody. So we're going to have places where we can hang out and communicate, and we don't have to wait until showtime to do it. So if you're bored and nothing going on, I'll throw some games in there. We'll do some game nights. We'll definitely have a lot of fun with it. So, Papo Jr., I didn't realize that was up there all this time. Barry Bonds. We talked about Don West yesterday. Very, very sad. I tell you, that is one guy that I honestly never thought that I would enjoy his work. I couldn't stand him and Shop at Home, and I didn't even like him when he first came into TNA. And I was like, out of everybody you could hire, you know, you bring him in, but he hit a home run. He did awesome. The energy that guy has is incredible. And I sincerely pray for this man. I'm not someone that's going to sit in my bed and go, please, God, please do everything. No, but in my soul, in my heart, in my conscience, I really hope to hear good news for Don West. We also got to keep it a little bit realistic here, and you know, something like that is very, very, very tough, very tough. So my thoughts and prayers are with Don West, without a doubt, without a doubt. That's very, very sad. Right now, I'm trying to find out if Karrion Kross. No update yet. If Karrion Kross actually wrestled Bronson Reed. But now there's a lot of reports floating around late tonight that Becky Lynch has been spotted at the Performance Center. Look. Did you see the news today that, updates on Edge and updates on The Fiend? And people only starting to realize now that Edge was featured on all the advertisements for all the show tickets that went on sale the last 10 days. They have Edge on all. We brought it up. I showed you the banner like 10 days ago. So now they put two and two together and realize, okay, July, Becky Lynch will be coming back. Edge will be coming back. We will have some people promoted to the main roster from NXT. We will see a couple of names rehired. I don't want to put any teasers out there, but you probably have heard the same names that I have. The WWE is seriously working on bringing at least one or two people back that they released from this year. Last year, there's another one or two people that they're looking to bring back. So by the end of 2021, don't be surprised if you have 3 to 4 people at minimum who have been brought back to WWE that were released either this year or last year. So I'll say it. I hope Aleister Black is one of them. I truly think Aleister Black will end up being brought back. And, for some of you out there that's going to love it, and some of you out there that think that he's a better fit in AEW somewhere else, if you're a fan of Aleister Black, respect whatever decision that he makes. That's how I look at it. Do I think Edge wrestles at SummerSlam? There's a very big possibility of that. And the reason why I think even Daniel Bryan, you might see something. And I think the reason why is because they're returning in July. SummerSlam's not till August. So you're going to see some big surprises in July that is going to lead up to SummerSlam. Remember, SummerSlam is going to be technically this year's Mania. I mean, Mania was a big event, no question. But, the feel and having fans back permanently or until the next virus, God forbid, God helping, it's SummerSlam is going to feel so much different than WrestleMania did for all the right reasons. I'm telling you, I said this yesterday to somebody who called into the show. The next 6 months for wrestling is going to be incredible. Not every promotion is going to kick ass. A lot of promotions have some serious wounds that they've been smoke and mirrors, whether they're doing interaction with other promotions or not. But there's some promotions out there that are really, really hurting right now. Hurting big time. So they're going to take a little bit more time to heal. But as far as the bigger promotions out there in WWE, I don't think anybody understands. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you out there end up saying that the second half of 2021 is one of the best 6 month spans in pro wrestling in the last 10 to 20 years or 15 years. Because I don't think anything would beat up until like the mid 2000s. I mean, that WWE roster they had in 05 plus TNA was pretty fucking amazing. But I'm telling you, the second half of 2021 as a wrestling fan, look forward to it. And expand your horizons if some promotions, that have the capability are not some of your favorites. By the way, we have Orange Cassidy and Cezar Bononi in the ring. And they put a jacket on Orange Cassidy to mock him. He's wearing Ryan Nemeth's jacket to mock him. This is too methodical for me. Cezar Bononi, look, you'll probably get the reversal any second. There's the reversal. There you go. Now he's going to put his fucking hands in his pockets because that's what you do to fight a huge big man like Cezar Bononi. You see this? Watch, he's going to put his hands in his pockets right now. Watch. There's his hands. Look. He's going to dive over, and they caught him. They're throwing him back in the ring. Oh, yeah, and they sprayed him with water. And he's looking at them like, what the fuck did you just do? Spray water in my face? Now he put his glasses on. Because if it's supposed to sting, putting glasses on is going to make it feel better. This feels like more of a comical match. All right, Orange Cassidy's back in the ring. Cezar Bononi is looking the other way. We will probably see a drop kick off the top rope. Oh, nope. Bononi caught him. Orange Cassidy counters. Nice DDT. Look, there's no question Orange Cassidy is so freaking talented. All right, Ryan Nemeth, for some reason, is just standing on the corner waiting to get hit by Bononi. Chris Statlander pokes the eyes of attempted pumped handle slam from Cezar Bononi turns into the orange crush from Cassidy. Cassidy gets the win. And, for the live crowd, fun match. But really, wasn't anything, as far as the wrestling moves go. Before I get into a few more super chats, I don't know how I feel about taking the Hell in a Cell match of Roman Reigns and Rey Mysterio off of the pay-per-view so Bayley and Bianca Belair could have a Hell in a Cell match. It's obvious, we've talked about it before, that WWE wanted to have at least one match in the cell for women, and Rhea Ripley and Charlotte was not going to be one of them. And I don't think anybody out there wanted to see Alexa Bliss and Shayna Baszler in a Hell in a Cell. If that would have happened, even though, if you think about it, some people might say, you know what? That kind of makes more sense. But that would have been more of a cinematic match. I mean, if you think about it, Roman Reigns is the tribal chief, the head of the table. He's at the top of his game. Rey Mysterio is not injured right now. Rey Mysterio is doing a phenomenal job too. Yes, this storyline was rushed, but I honestly can't understand why you would take that match off the pay-per-view and give it to Bianca Belair and Bayley. They did add 2 matches tonight. They finally made it official. We're going to have Cesaro and Seth Rollins. That should have been in the cell. Okay, Jungle Boy was about to be interviewed in the back parking area, and Nakazawa pulls up with Kenny Omega and Don Callis in a golf cart. They beep the horn and break up the interview segment, so now Kenny Omega's on the mic. No custom suits. He's not wearing any jewelry, Kenny Omega. He doesn't even have his championship belt. Last week, you put your nose in my business. Last week, he embarrassed Kenny Omega. So, still, why does that mean he's not wearing any gold or jewelry or anything else? That didn't make any sense. Thank you, Stephen. I know some of you know this already. Not everybody tunes in to every minute of everything I do, which I don't blame you because I talk way too much on this channel. We have to start really spreading it out better. But for those that don't know, this is no joke. If you see this, there you go. See this? See that? This is an actual Mets baseball jersey, batting practice, spring training, I should say, worn by Bobby Bonilla from the early 90s. Someone had given this to me, probably like 20, 25 years ago, and I always kept it. I sold 99% of my baseball jersey collection. I kept maybe like 4 jerseys, and this was one of them. So yeah, this is actually, I like it. And I do get compliments for it, but it is a real Mets baseball jersey worn by Bobby Bonilla in spring training. I don't remember what year in the early 90s. So Omega is still cutting a promo on Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy takes off his jacket, hands Marvez his phone, and Nakazawa hits him from behind with a laptop. Kenny Omega takes Jungle Boy, throws him on top of a trash bin, couple of punches. Remember, the title match is next week. Now Jungle Boy's getting the upper hand, and Nakazawa pulls him away. Kenny Omega is like running to the golf cart. Oh, wow, that was pretty funny. Don Callis is behind the wheel, and Nakazawa went to dive onto the cart, and they kicked him away. So Jungle Boy would pay attention to Nakazawa, and they sped away. So I like that part. They keep bitching out Michael Nakazawa. So next week we get Kenny Omega versus Jungle Boy for the title. Okay, all right. Okay, so not so bad. Cody and Brock Anderson versus Who Dat and Aaron Solo is happening next. So we are getting the Good Brothers and Matt Jackson versus Kingston, Kazarian, and Penta as the main event. Okay, I like that because many Dynamites in the past, that match would usually be the opening match. Tonight they're closing out with it. Good for them. Even if the number is not strong, or better. I don't think it's going to be strong. You don't go from 462 or 480 to 800,000. I think people need to understand, and I brought this up before. It is Friday night, 10 p.m. to midnight. We're now in the summertime. COVID is almost over, and a shitload of people out there. They haven't left AEW. They haven't deserted AEW. Just on a Friday night, 10 p.m. to midnight, AEW is not on the top of the list for a lot of people out there. Yes, for us, it's different, but when they go back to Wednesday night, their rating will go right back to the 900,000, break them occasional million. They will be fine. When they have AEW Rampage debut in August, remember, this is the same time slot as now. And that rating is probably only going to draw about 300,000. So they're expecting this. So tonight, if they break 500,000, even if it's 501, it's better than what it was, but nobody's anticipating kick-ass ratings for tonight. Next Saturday, it's going to be interesting, because I believe it's earlier in the night. I think next Saturday's at 8 o'clock. So I will give you the confirmation on Monday. So, again, I am disappointed that WWE pulled Roman Reigns versus Rey Mysterio. We knew the outcome. We just didn't know what was going to happen in the match. And to be honest with you, this match was very uneventful today. It was fun. The 3 commercial breaks hurt it for me. And also, nothing with Jimmy Uso and nothing with Jey Uso. Nothing. Nothing at all. And Roman winning with the guillotine out of nowhere. I mean, I'm looking at the clock, and obviously we're now around 9:52, 9:53 p.m. But I said, okay, they could probably still do 2-3 more minutes. He slaps on the guillotine, match over, and I'm like, okay, this was kind of uneventful. I mean, the first ever Hell in a Cell match on SmackDown, I think it should have been a little bit more special. It did not feel as special. It felt like a cage match. And look, I'm not complaining about cage matches, but it did not feel special enough for me. So this card for Saturday, it's lacking, man. It's lacking. But WWE, what they're doing right now, and I honestly think, even though we may not like it, I think every single one of you out there would agree. In 1 month, they're going to be back with live fans. In 1 month, they're going to be taking in millions and millions of dollars from ticket sales and fan merchandise and touring all across the United States. So they are holding as many of their aces, whether it's wrestlers, returns, storyline changes, debuts, they're holding their cards as much as they can for the next month. That is why we're only getting, as of right now, a 6-match card, and this looks very uneventful. I'm going to read you the matches offhand. We'll do predictions later, but Lashley versus Drew in the cell, Ripley versus Charlotte in the cell. We have a little pull apart in the back with Christian and Private Party and Matt Hardy. They were cutting a promo, and they locked Christian in a cage. So Christian, they locked him in a cage. Okay. All right. They locked him in a cage. Christian, out-climb everyone. Come on, man. You've been in cage matches. Climb the fucking cage. Why is he looking up? Take your foot, put it in the mesh. Why is he looking up? He said, open this cage, you piece of shit. Christian, there's no top on this cage, dummy. Climb it. It's only 10 feet tall. Is it not high enough for you? Why does he keep looking up? That was not a very good segment. All right. So we're now getting Who Dat, Aaron Solo versus Cody and Brock Anderson. Let's see what he can do. I'm not going to crap on him. Here's Cody coming out. Again, congrats to him. Him and his wife on their brand new baby girl. I think she was 6 pounds, 12 ounces, somewhere around that. So, nice. I like hearing about that. KD, we will have Edge back. I said before, just give it a month. They're waiting. They're waiting and anticipating. And I'm telling you, the next 6 months are going to be phenomenal. You know me. I don't like using words like epic, unbelievable, amazing. But I really think the next 6 months are going to be, 5 months are going to be phenomenal. It really is. It's going to be a 5-month period to remember. I mean, some things will feel overinflated, because of the lockdown we've had for 7 days. Think about this. Think about this. I want everybody to think about this. Even though Hell in a Cell was in the latter part of last year, it wasn't that long ago that Roman Reigns had the Wild Samoans come out and they put the beautiful flowers over. That was last year's Hell in a Cell. It flew this fast. You're talking, 8, 9 months or whatever it is. Last February and March, the pandemic started and there was so much unknown and, we were just worried and devastated and it just affected everybody financially, emotionally. It turned people's lives upside down and it's going to be around for a few years. But my God, we're almost out of it. And I understand people out there are still very, very concerned. They're worried about variants. They're worried about this. They're worried about that. You still got to be careful. You still got to, it doesn't mean that you suddenly have bad hygiene. Still take precautions, just like I do and others. But, this pandemic in New York, 96 or 97% of the COVID cases have dropped. 96, 97% since January. Why? Because it's summertime? It's because of the vaccines. So WWE is holding as many of their cards as they can for the live fans. So that's why we're getting more of an average Hell in a Cell, because a month from now, people are going to quickly forget about this pay-per-view. And it's going to be all about SummerSlam and all about the return and all about touring and all in WrestleMania and Survivor Series and everything else. They started off with Aaron Solo and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar. I knew that was going to fucking happen. I got to give out a prize every time I say that from now on. Brock Anderson, excuse me. They're doing very boring chain wrestling. What the hell was that? Did Aaron Solo was supposed to pull down Brock Anderson's hair and Brock Anderson was supposed to go down? And it looked like he just... Did anybody see that just now? That looked awful. That looked awful. You know what? I think... Look, I'm going to give him a chance. I think maybe it was better for him to have a debut like this on Dark or Elevation, make this match on one of those. And they're putting an awful... This is very, very boring. I'm not against Aaron Solo. Aaron Solo is talented, but nobody has any, emotion invested in the guy. So I like when they screw up a move and Excalibur's like, Solo had him scouted. No, that was called a botch. Who dat? Nobody fucking cares about who dat. I don't care how hot his wife is. I don't care what car he drives. I don't want to work in the position that he's in. I don't want to wrestle. I'm too old. I don't want any of the stuff that he has. Good for him. God bless him. He works his ass off. I will not take that away from him. But, these people in their minds, they think that the fans out there actually want to see him get his ass kicked on TV. And this is obvious, people being rewarded for working behind the scenes. I guess they should, but this is the perfect example of that. All right. Now, who that's job is to make Brock Anderson look like $1 million. Look at, was it a dance move? Look, For indie crowds, this is fun. Yeah, you didn't get all of it. Yeah, that was something else they just said. When I go to indie events back in the day, or I worked for indie events, you could do stuff like that, and everybody still has a great fun time. Because people don't take it too seriously. They pay $10. They see some of their friends and family there. They know that nobody is truly polished. You might have some gems, but for the most part, you could look beyond that. And a lot of this stuff feels like what you would see in an indie wrestling event. I don't care if he's Arn Anderson's son, his father, his lover, his neighbor, I don't care who he is. Just because you're the son of someone, I remember David Sammartino. I remember Angelo Mosca's son, which was horrendous. Just because you're somebody's son, you shouldn't get the red carpet treatment because, people are nice. Yeah, this is not looking all that good. And this is like a Gaga match right now. This is a Gaga match. Brock Anderson is not even selling that he just got slingshot in neck first into the rope. He's doing this. He's not even, you get slingshot, you're supposed to be like he's doing this. He looks like one of those slots on a Geico commercial with facial hair. He doesn't sell pain. That's first thing I'm noticing about him right now. Oh, now he's selling the knee to the back. Where's the hot tag? Where's the hot tag? They're going to wait for the commercial break to finish. So, this match is very, very boring. This was to reward Arn Anderson's son and Arn Anderson. That's what this match is about. I could see if Brock Anderson was on TV week after week after week after week after week, and they were doing a storyline teasing him, kind of like when Dominic first showed up on the scene, and then it finally leads to a match. I'm all for that. But he just shows up out of nowhere, and a lot of people were last week, and I don't blame them, like, wait, who is this? Wait, he's got a son? That's how hidden it was. Yeah, this is all Gaga. This is 100% Gaga. We're going to go back to commercial break, and suddenly Brock Anderson is going to have a world of fire, and then he's going to try to go for the hot tag, and probably who that will prevent him from having a hot tag or Solow. They'll tease it a little bit more, and then he'll finally get the hot tag. Cody will clean house, and the crowd will go banana. Watch. We're getting out of the commercial break right now. We're about to. Brock Anderson is looking at Cody. He's like, we're going to get the attempted hot tag, and it will fail. It should fail the first time around. There we go. Chop. Okay. Here comes the reverse. Okay, yeah, when you spin like that, yep, there's the reverse. All right, and Brock Anderson's going to try to go for the hot tag, but he's not going to be able to. He's not going to. There's Solow stopping it. You could see this a mile away. Oh, here's the second move. Now he's going to jump up because he's only a foot away. He's going to jump up, and he's going to get the hot tag. Look. He's going to jump up. Here's the preventive. There you go. Here's Cody with the hot tag. The ref didn't see it. Now the refs are going to enforce? Get the fuck out of here. This is AEW. Oh, yeah, look, the referee looks at the double teaming. Get out of here. This is awful. That is fucking awful. Sorry, AEW. When you choose to have video game rules where the referees enforce nothing, having the referee not allow to tag is a goddamn joke. Goddamn joke. KD says that QT looks like a guy he dated in college and never wanted him to find him. I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. He's not a bad guy. It's nothing personal with him. But, when they did that stuff with Diamond Dallas Page, There's the hot tag. There we go. Look, Cody's going to clean house. There you go. All right, who dat? Now it's time for you to hit the ring. There we go. There's the 3 moves. Now who dat will enter in. Look, who dat's not even looking at the ring. Now look, suddenly he's going to. There he goes. Suddenly he's looking at. It's so goddamn predictable, man. He just stood there and allowed Cody to do the head scissors. Now he's going to go on the thing so he can get clothesline over the top rope. There you go. There you go. Now we will have who dat will break up the figure 4 attempt. All right, who dat, do your job. I hope some of you on the replay watch some of these matches as I'm doing the show, because some of the people in the chat room are doing exactly what I'm doing. They are predicting every single move. Benjamin, I don't know what clairvoyant means. I've never really looked up the definition. Clairvoyant. Something tells me several of you are also clairvoyant. The attempted fruit roll-up by Aaron Solow for a 2 count. Okay, that just looked like a mess. Cody expected to get nailed by who dat, and who dat was not in a position. Brock Anderson should pin Solow, right? You know what I'd love to see? Brock Anderson turn on Cody. I'd love to see him just turn around and give Cody the DDT. Look, oh, that was so funny. Brock Anderson thought he was going to hit the 3 moves of offense on Aaron Solow, and Aaron Solow stood down. Here's Solow with the kick. Don't worry. Brock will reverse it. There's the reverse. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Brock Anderson pins Aaron Solow. How predictable is that? I'm not trying to crap on this, but we just, so far, for 60% of the night so far, we have predicted every single spot in every single match. Look at that, man. Shit. Now we need Brock Anderson to get his ass kicked. All right, now who's going to attack him? Where are the other guys from Who Dat's camp? Come on, we need Brock Anderson to get an ass kicking now. Come on, you got to get the little baby face. Are they just going to give him the feel-good moment? Kick his ass. Kick his ass. He looks like somebody that was in a rest area that, like was training to be a wrestler and they decided to let him, work the show. He looks like a truck driver. Wow, they're just giving him the feel-good moment. Where is Ogogo? Oh, yeah. Now Lance Archer in the back. He's back to being pissed off again. This is the 3rd time in his AEW career they're doing this. That he walks back and forth. I've had it. I'm going to get... And Lance Archer is my favorite AEW wrestler. AEW, what you have done to this fucking guy, man. This is the 3rd time in his career. Not 3 video segments, but 3 phases in his AEW career that he gets a little bit of TV time exposure, gets a match, loses, and then in the back, he gets constipated, walks back and forth like he's got to pee and there's no place to go. And then he somehow gets another match. It leads to something. He loses that, and then suddenly he's in the back, and now he's got to take a shit, and there's no toilet paper. This is the 3rd time they're doing this stuff. Andrade. They go to show now the interview between JR and Andrade. Jim Ross says, listen closely to the words of these world-class competitor. Okay. El Idolo. You're a superstar. Everybody knows who you are. Why did you choose AEW? For many reasons. Here, many talent. Many stars. Thank you, AEW, for the I am superstar. Now, if I imitate how he's talking, is that racist? But I am superstar. Jim Ross is asking Andrade if the titles are on his radar. I deserve opportunity for the TNT title and the AEW World title. It's my next step. Thank you for the closed caption, AEW. It's my next step. Bringing up Vicky Guerrero. Many things she understands as business. She is very smart. I'm a third-generation wrestler. She came up with Eddie Guerrero. She knows his family, which is full of even more wrestlers. The same holds true for my family. This is why we have a great connection. But you need to wait because Vicky and Andrade, El Idolo, have surprise. You know, you don't have to write the broken English if he says the broken English, AEW. You can add the actual letters to it. So all he said was, I have a surprise. It's funny that they actually typed the broken English, too. All right. We got there hyping up the main event once again. Next, we got Julia Hart versus Penelope Ford. Oh, goody. Now we can talk about a couple other things. SmackDown tonight. Before I do that, let's see if there's anything updated about Karrion Kross. Nope. So, like I said, dark matches so management could see what they're all about up close and personal. Nothing more, nothing less. So we'll see what comes out. We'll probably have more news for you on Monday about that. So, Lone Wolf says I sound like Speedy Gonzalez. Didn't he say Andrade? You should say Andrade. Yeah, Andrade, yeah. Shout out to Papa Jr. again. Daniel San, this is a mockery to the UFC. Go Sixers. China documentary was great. I am watching the China documentary over the weekend. I'm a little choked up of some of the things that I hear because a lot of you know that I have talked to members of her family and two of her very close friends over the last couple of years. And if you remember on some of my previous shows, I would talk about that piece of shit, Anthony, that I can't understand how he hasn't been thrown in jail. I brought up a comparison of Anna Nicole Smith. You know, the guy was an enabler. The guy took advantage of her. The guy ripped her off. And I think the guy is responsible for her death. And, you know, I understand that nobody forced the drugs to go into the mouth of China or the nose or anything else. But the thing is that when you have an addiction, that is an illness, that is a sickness. And when someone keeps feeding that addiction to you, when you become not only emotionally but chemically dependent on those narcotics, and that takes over your life, unless anyone out there has ever been there, I don't think anybody out there should be bashing China, you know, for having, you know, an addiction that killed her. Addictions are no joke, man. I don't compare myself to them, but I've admitted it before. I'm addicted to painkillers. Ever since my car accident in 1996, I have to take OxyContin. I take 1 to 2 a day, usually 1. If I have really bad days, I will take a second one. But I've been taking them since 1996. And when I get tests back and there's cysts on my liver and I got problems here, I know sooner or later it's going to come back and bite me in the ass. But the pain that I suffer from this car accident, I still get to this day. I didn't put a spinal stimulator attached to my spine just so I could say, oh, me and brother, we have something in common, brother. You know, it hurts. It hurts. My body is now chemically dependent on that medicine. But I don't take it to get high. I take it for pain. And it's not fun. It's not fun to be chemically dependent on something. And if you wait, I've tried to wait a day, day and a half, see how long I could go without taking one. And you start getting cold sweats and headaches and shakes, and every part of your body hurts. And the minute you take it, all that pain goes away. So I want to watch it, and I am prepared for some of it to be sensationalized. But from a few people that I trust who have seen it, they said that it's worth a watch. So I'm going to check it out. Yeah, James Campbell, that guy Anthony, man. Oh, I got to pull up. Maybe I'll leave the names out of it, but I got to show you some of the emails I got in the past, some of the conversations. You knew half the stuff. I don't understand why this guy's not in jail. I honestly don't know why he was. I want to say not in jail. I don't understand why he was never arrested at minimum. This guy, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. Seriously. But I'm definitely going to check that out, Daniel. Rye Baker. What's up, my friend? Why did they switch Reigns for Reigns versus Rey for Bianca versus Bayley? Like I said before, don't underestimate that everything's on Peacock now. So WWE loses no money. You're not going to have anybody cancel WWE Network overseas because they're not getting Roman on the pay-per-view. So WWE decided that they'd rather give that other Hell in a Cell match to Bianca versus Bayley. I hope they deliver. I personally think that the Rey Mysterio Roman Reigns storyline was very weak. Very weak. It came out of nowhere. Look, no Jimmy Uso involvement, no Jey Uso involvement. It just felt, I don't know, it felt very random. I mean, I was joking earlier that I wanted to see Jimmy Uso kick Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is probably going to continue attacking Rey Mysterio or someone else in the future. And I think we're going to get to a point where Jimmy Uso is going to say enough. And that's it. But Roman Reigns is not fighting Sunday. And, yeah, the card looks a lot weaker without Roman Reigns. But, again, 1 month from now, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. So, right now we have Julia Hart and Penelope Ford in the ring. And we have the Varsity Blondes and ringside. I don't think Kip Sabian's at ringside. He's still recovering from, I think, surgery. So, let me see if anything else is broken news-wise. Nope. So while this very boring match is going on, let's just get into a couple of things about SmackDown quickly. Rey Mysterio opened up the show. Now, understand something, since I was in Thunderdome tonight, and yes, I was in there as Deli Man. So I will, like I said, post a screenshot or two tomorrow of me where I was positioned there. So it's not easy to be in Thunderdome and you're constantly being energetic and then taking in the card as well. I could not take any notes tonight. But Rey Mysterio, recapping last week and cutting the promo on Roman Reigns and what he did to his son, the son that he held, his child. And Rey made the match really feel important. And what we realized was the match was happening tonight. When Roman Reigns came out to confront Rey Mysterio and basically tell him what I did to your son is nothing compared to what I'm going to do to you, and Roman then said he's going to do it his way, I honestly think that some of us expected Jey Uso to fight Rey in the cell tonight. I think some of you out there, in fact, I wouldn't have been surprised if we would have got a swerve and somebody would have been in the cell instead, and they still ended up having their match Sunday. But sure enough, we end up having that match, and they hyped it all night long. They made it very, very important. And look, Fox get a nice little, I don't know how much of a jump in the rating, because obviously there was a spur-of-the-moment decision because they announced it yesterday on Twitter. So you're probably going to have a lot of fans that didn't even have an idea that this was happening tonight instead of Sunday. So you would think Rey should have challenged Roman last week for tonight, and you would have had a week's worth of build. A week's worth of build. Maybe the reason why they only did it a day in advance is because, let's be honest, if they would have announced a week ago that Rey and Roman were going to be fighting in a cell on SmackDown 2 days before the pay-per-view, most of us, and probably me included, would have said, that's stupid. That's stupid. Why would you take such an important match and give it to us on SmackDown? So for 7 days, we would all been criticizing it. So by doing it yesterday, it only seems like 1 day. My problem with it yesterday on social media, and I brought it up, was Adam Cole should have been the one on social media announcing the match yesterday. When Rey made the challenge, quote-unquote, online, Adam Pearce should have been the one to go on social media and say, after talking about it with Sonya, we agree. What a way to kick off the weekend, have it on Friday Night SmackDown. And then WWE could have retweeted what Adam Cole wrote, and that's it. But Adam Cole suddenly disappeared yesterday. We had the backstage segment today, but still, that's a little bit careless on WWE's part. Did I say Adam Cole? Did I say Adam Pearce? Sorry. I've been up since 6:30 this morning on 3 hours sleep. Adam Pearce, my apologies. Wow, 2 faux pas tonight. Brock Lesnar and Adam Cole. Yeah, he's SmackDown GM, baby. Baby. Yeah, I did say Adam Cole first. So I love the opening segment with Rey. And I tell you again, what was a treat also is listening to Ted DiBiase all night in our ear. Rey cut a promo. All right, everybody. Energy. After Rey would say something, like I said, I recorded some of it. I can't play it here. I don't want to get in trouble. But, Rey would say something really good, or who else? Oh, Bailey. Bianca Belair said something really good. And Ted DiBiase is telling everybody, he's like, oh, everybody get up for that one. It was fun with Ted tonight. I'm telling you, anybody who was in Thunderdome tonight, you would have had so much fun with Ted DiBiase. Put it this way, we were joking last night about Vince getting in people's ears, and tonight, we had Ted DiBiase in our ears. And he's telling us, all right, everybody, show energy. All right, everybody, show thumbs up. Let's go. And it was fun. It was freaking fun, man. I enjoyed it. Today was my 6th Thunderdome appearance. But every time I'm on it, I rarely ever get like a decent spot on there. And WWE has invited me 4 times out of the 6. I didn't request to be on tonight. I got an email a couple of days ago that, if you'd like to be part of Thunderdome, click the link. I clicked the link. I said, all right. And then they set me up for 7:15. I swear on my mother, that pissed me off tonight because I showed up at Thunderdome at 7:10, 5 minutes early, and I expected, okay, we talked about it yesterday. Why are they making us go to Thunderdome 45 minutes early? SmackDown starts at 8. So it's okay, maybe they're going to record something earlier and they want people on Thunderdome while it happens. Then you heard the rumors about Cross and Bronson Reed working dark matches, and I'm like, wait, are we going to actually see some dark matches too? Then someone said to me, well, maybe it's 205 Live. From 7:10 until 8 o'clock, I sat here with the goddamn mask on and nothing was going on. And I didn't want to take it off because, I wanted to be on Thunderdome as Deli Man. And go figure, do you believe these two are still wrestling? They're not technical masters. Julia Hart makes Penelope Ford tap out. Penelope Ford does not want to break the hold. Also, they're going to make Penelope Ford a babyface now, so when Kip Sabian returns, he beats up Miedo. Penelope Hart is snapping. The Varsity Blondes are a little confused. Penelope Ford, why are you not selling it? Oh, excuse me. Penelope Ford choked out Julie Hart. Excuse me. Brain fart. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so Penelope Ford, yeah, they're still going to make a baby face, though. Here comes Miedo. Told you. Yeah, they're going to make Penelope Ford a baby face. Well, that was pretty stupid. God's favorite champion. They're going to turn. They just have Penelope Ford refusing to break the hold on Julia Hart. Miedo just laid out. Frying Brian. Oh, is this to set up Brian versus Miedo? Miedo attacked Griff Garrison. Griff flew out of the ring. Brian Pillman Jr. attacked Miedo. And Miedo is being held back in the corner. So this is the Acme answer. And Penelope Ford just leaves. Did you see that? You know what? I actually wouldn't mind seeing Brian Pillman Jr. versus Miedo. But it's one of those matches that you know the outcome. You know, I don't see Brian Pillman Jr. winning the TNT Championship. Nick is saying I'm not watching it anymore. I'm watching it. I'm right here. You know, I'm looking at the chat room. I'm looking at my notes. I'm looking at the time, and I'm looking at Vicky Guerrero and Britt Baker and Reba, not Rebel, or Rebel, not Reba. I say awful, not bad. Yeah, I'll tell you. Look, I'm not experienced in doing watch-alongs. This is my fourth, I think, and they're fun, and I love hanging out with all of you while these shows are on. But you know, these episodes on Friday night have not been very good. They have been far from very good, and you know, it makes these watch-alongs. I don't want the watch-alongs to be whine-alongs. You know, there's been a lot to criticize tonight. Tony Khan is letting. Oh, my goodness. Tony Khan is allowing Vicky to set up a match. It's going to be Rebel and Britt Baker versus Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero. And they're all laughing. That's going to happen. Their return to Wednesday night. They're advertising it now. Britt Baker and Rebel versus Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero. Wednesday, June 30th. Miedo versus Brian Pillman Jr. That was fast. Wednesday, June 30th. Let's see if they announce any other matches. MJF versus Sammy Guevara. Okay. Remember Sammy Guevara in all those interviews recently that he's not going to be fighting MJF? Yeah, okay. Yeah, Greg from Brooklyn. That's not a bad comparison. I've said that before. You know, it's like a shotgun Saturday night. You know, very late at night. You know, you don't expect spectacular cards, but you know, enough where you watch. They're hyping up Omega versus Jungle Boy next Saturday. 8 o'clock, by the way, TNT. So next Saturday, 8 o'clock. Next Saturday, Hangman Page versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Expect Brian Cage to show up, by the way. So those are the matches they're announcing. So we're probably getting to the main event now. They're showing FTR, a little video package of FTR and Santana and Ortiz. So we're probably going to see that match, I would think. I don't know about next Saturday, but the following Wednesday. So next Saturday, the 26th, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So they're only going to be 4 days apart between Dynamites. It's going to be an awful quick turnaround. Yeah, FTR talking about Santana Ortiz, that you think you're the only ones that were brought up on the wrong side of the tracks. They talk about how they grew up and they had problems with not having running water. Talking about gangs. They're talking about their debuts. They're showing their debuts in AEW. By the way, I brought it up Wednesday and yesterday. For those that are in my neck of the woods or are interested, AEW is coming to Queens, New York, September 22nd, and a ton of us are getting together. I reached out to quite a few people in the last 2 days, and I would say about 90% of them said they're going. And these are people that if they say they're going, they're probably going. I told you, be prepared and be wary of the ones that will make it about them. That September 22nd Dynamite is not about me. It's not about even AEW. It's about all of us getting together and hanging out, enjoying some wrestling, and finally go to a wrestling event where we don't have to worry about COVID and we could just have fun and just meet and shake some hands and see some people that either we never saw before in person or haven't seen in a very long time. I reached out to Mish. I don't know if he's going to be able to go. Some podcasters are going to go. It's not brain surgery, everyone. It's September 22nd, a Wednesday. It shouldn't be a hard decision. You go or you don't. And again, some people are going to make it about them because they're going to leave it undecided. Oh, I'm not sure. I might. I don't know. And only, you know why it's done? So they can get everybody to kiss their ass and beg them. You have been supporting me since 1997. And I owe it to you. You've supported me. I support you. Going out there, shaking your hand, thanking you for being by my side. So, it's not something that you have to talk about and think about every single day. Plain and simple. September 22nd, Queens, New York, Arthur Ashe Stadium, right by Flushing Meadow Park, right by Citi Field, right by Roosevelt Avenue and all the whorehouses, right by College Point Boulevard and that massage parlor that I got my 4 tires slashed. It's all right there. So I'm going to work on either getting a big block of tickets and we're all going to sit together, or if it's not as expensive as I think it's going to be, going to get 1 or 2 skyboxes and just hang out in the skyboxes. But, and one thing you should know by now, if I tell you that I'm going to do something or I want to do something, you know that it's legit, and I'm not going to play games with people out there. And, some people had said to me the last day or two, oh, DT, if you see JD from New York, are you going to shake his hand? And I was like, shake his hand? We're supposed to have a beer together. Jason, when I met him at Lucky 13 2.5 years ago, the first words out of Jason Solomonster's mouth was, why do we hate each other? And we had an awesome conversation. I just felt bad because I had so much pain in my midsection. If you watch that 1.5-hour footage of us, you'll see me all night holding this because I had diverticulitis surgery short time before that. And it hurt. It hurt. It was not fun to be up that long because I wasn't used to it. But this is going to be something totally different. And if anybody shows up, I don't hate anybody out there. Even the people I talked about before, I don't want to punch anybody in the face. I don't hold it like that. You fuck with my family, that's different. If you stab me in the back or you talk shit about me, and you keep doing, then it gets to a point like, okay, now I don't do nothing for you. And those people out there, some of them, I'm not going to go out of my way and do things for them. I spend my time for all of you out there. So there's no middle ground here. If people do me wrong, I don't do business with them anymore. I don't associate myself with them. I don't socialize. I don't mingle with them. But if I bump into someone, sure, I'll shake anybody's hand. Nobody's, slighted me that bad, But I hope you could all get together. And remember, they will be coming to the Arthur Ashe Stadium more than once. This turns out to be a success. They got an interview segment with Jade Cargill now. Partnership. Luxury hotel. The fuck out of here, man. Give us just the main event. Oh, yeah, no, Harris. I talked to the Masked Maniac a week ago. I sent him a DM, asked him how he was doing, and he was doing well. And, we just said it's been a very long time. And that was it. I actually, as far as Conrad, I'm friendly with Conrad. Conrad, with the first, that big convention that they were doing, remember Podcasters Row? Conrad offered me to go for nothing. I didn't have to pay for Podcasters Row. He just said, just cover your plane and your hotel. And he's like, he invited me to go. And, I didn't go, obviously because logistics were my office. But, the problem with that was at that time, I'm involved with other people in podcasting. And it was like, okay, if I'm going to go, either I go as, the whole podcast family or we don't go at all. And I knew that I would be the only one going. And I couldn't get out of work. That was the truth. But I get along with Conrad. I have no problem with Conrad. I've debated Mish about Conrad. I love Conrad's hustle. I love Conrad's hustle. I love how it gets. By the way, I think today's his birthday. Happy 40th, Conrad. But there's so many people out there. If I see people, like I said, there's nobody out there on social media or in the website or podcast. Even Mike Johnson. I showed Mish Mike Johnson at big event last February. And it was the most funniest thing because I said, Mish, watch. We walked past him, and Mike, when he walked by, he looked down, looked the other way. I don't like that guy. But, if I actually crossed eyes with him, I'd shake his hand. Absolutely, man. Yeah, Eddie, I think Conrad, I think he's only 40. It sounds awfully young, doesn't it? I have to double check the age. By the way, they're doing introductions right now. But I always thought Conrad was close to 50 as well. Somebody wrote Conrad was 40. Could someone check his age? You know what? I'll do it. I'll do it right now. Hold on. Let me. I'm sure no one is going to disconnect simply because I'm going on Google to check Conrad's age. Let's look at Conrad's age. Let's get the official age. Maybe somebody was just being nice to him before. Conrad is 40 years old. Oh, wait a minute. He doesn't turn 40 until June 28th. All right, so somebody fucked up his birthday. Conrad is going to be 40 years old, everyone. My God, I'm about 10 years older than Conrad. A little more than 10 years old. Holy shit. 40 years old. Good for him, man. Anyway, we got the Young Bucks. Well, we got Matt Jackson and the Good Brothers. Matt Jackson, they're doing the streamers, like mocking the fans. Matt Jackson wearing the leather cap. Is he trying to impersonate Shawn Michaels? It almost feels like he's impersonating Shawn Michaels. Frankie Kazarian looks very, very intense. Is Abrahantes out there? I know they put him back on Dark. I'm curious. I didn't see Abrahantes. I think he is out there. Yeah, it looks like he is. He got very lucky with that sheet of stuff. He got very lucky that he didn't get himself into bigger trouble. So, Apollo Crews and Commander Azeez beat Big E and Kevin Owens. Funny backstage segment before the match. Kevin Owens put over Big E, 10-time tag team champion. How can I not? This is a big deal. And Big E almost said nothing about Kevin Owens. And then he went into his shtick. I tell you, it was a fun match. I thought General Azeez did a good job in what he needed to do. Sami Zayn on the commentating was freaking hilarious. I mean, this is the match where you could see me a couple of times in it. And Sami Zayn, every time he was doing stuff, I'm doing the Sami Zayn dancing and this. I look like Elaine from Seinfeld right now, but trust me, before when I was doing it, looked a lot better. But the match, I thought was decent. And Azeez gave Kevin Owens the Nigerian nail. Owens was distracted by Sami Zayn a little bit. And right now, we just have the opening of the 6-man tag. It's more comedy than anything else. Penta's kicking Matt Jackson, and Matt Jackson's selling the leg. Eddie Kingston's going to hit one move on Matt Jackson now. He's doing a camel clutch, and Penta kicks him in the head. I bet you we go to commercial break right now. I bet you we go to commercial break. Literally within a minute, I feel commercial break coming. Eddie Kingston's awesome, man. And he's coming back home. He's a New Yorker. Santana and Ortiz as well. In fact, I will tell you this. It's not news. It's not news. But there's a couple of New York wrestlers. One that I have said numerous times, I want to see this person wrestle in AEW at least once. I could tell you with the utmost honesty that today, just through DMs, because I was stuck in my office for most of the day, but through DMs, I had 2 people tell me that there's a very good chance that some local New Yorkers are actually going to get a spot, not AEW as far as contract, but may actually get some dark matches out of it or something in New York. You're going to see a New York influence. Somebody told me that certain New Yorkers might be in the corner of Santana and Ortiz. Then you got some people that I think are a little bit brainstorming right now that they think that Santana and Ortiz are going to win the tag titles on the September 22nd Dynamite. I think that's a little bit wishful thinking right now, but hey, anything is possible. Right now, they're all brawling outside the ring. So who's going to be the one inside the ring that's going to dive onto everyone? Penta is going at it with Matt Jackson. Eddie Kingston is now going at it with Matt Jackson. It's very ground game right now. Gallows now getting the upper hand on Matt Jackson. Oh, Matt Jackson. Okay, no more ground game. Matt Jackson just dived onto Eddie Kingston right by the announcer's table. Matt Jackson selling like he's in pain. Yeah, he needed to be sprayed by Cutler. There's a commercial break. There's your commercial break. Yeah, I can't wait to see Eddie Kingston come home. I've been spoiled to see a lot of his work for over 15 years. And, it's going to be, I'm telling you, it's an awesome night, man. Like I said, it's a shame that some people are going to make it about them and tease people and just soak in all those, begging like, oh, please come, please. Even if you don't like AEW, come on, you got to come. You got to this, that. And they're just going to keep milking it and milking it and milking it. I hate when people do that. So many people, even like stuff with the podcasting stuff. I had so many people reach out to me over the last year and a half. Hey, DT, I can help you with this. Oh, I could hook you up with this. Oh, if you need help with this. And then I would reach out to them and like, bro, I'm really, really sorry, but, I'm really backed up with work right now. It's a little difficult. Or, oh, let me get back to you tomorrow. And they don't. After 2-3 times of that, you get the message. You're like, okay, they're basically telling you, go fuck yourself. If you can't do it, you just say, I can't do it. If you don't want to go, just say you don't want to go. But like I said, after me doing this since 1997, I owe it to you to show my face and to shake as many of your hands and thank you as possible. Even if I didn't want to go. This is a big deal. It's a big deal, and I will be there. So I'm gonna look. The great thing about it is it's only 10 minutes away from my house. It's almost only 10 minutes away, and we definitely have some ideas about some barbecues in the parking lot. We may not be able to barbecue in the parking lot, so we may even go to Flushing Meadow Park during the afternoon, which is only 10 minutes away. So there's a couple of things being planned out. The only thing is, and I'm going to be totally honest with everybody out there, some podcasters are going to make it about them. And I don't know how many of those podcasters are going to reach out to me and say, hey, DT, we're all going to hang out. Are you going to hang out too? Like, they want only the press and the attention on them. And I'm not a follower. I don't follow anybody. Like, I'll be on equal playing field, but I don't follow nobody. I'm not going to be anybody's guest. If we all get together and hang out, we all get together and hang out. And I honestly think almost none of those podcasters are going to reach out to me. And if that's the case, it's all good. It's all good. So let's do this. We're at 11:50. AEW just went back from commercial break. Let's focus on the rest of AEW's main event match. And then once that's over, we'll spend about 15 minutes just wrapping up SmackDown, because SmackDown tonight really was about one match. I mean, some of the build for King of the Ring. Well, actually, King of the Ring too. Yeah, there is some King of the Ring news. We'll talk about that with the Nakamura Corbin stuff. But we'll talk a little SmackDown. We'll do predictions. Hell in the Cell. There's only 6 matches. And I'll be honest with you, man. As I was going down the list, I don't even think there's going to be a title change. So right now, Matt Jackson is punching Eddie Kingston, and Eddie Kingston is hulking up in the middle of the ring, as Eddie Kingston does. Now they're exchanging chops. Eddie Kingston getting the upper hand. Matt Jackson raking his face. Frankie Kazarian just looks bored. Matt Jackson is greeted by a belly-to-belly suplex from Eddie Kingston. Now Kazarian is energetic. You woke up, Frankie. Frankie? Which movie is that from? You woke up, Frankie? Oh, it reminds me of a movie. Frankie? Frankie Kazarian gets the hot tag. He wails Gallows. He's now going at it with Carl Anderson. Missed horribly with Matt Jackson. I don't know. Kazarian doesn't seem to be getting much of a reaction from the crowd. Does it feel like a lot of white noise today? Is it just my tablet? Kazarian still with the upper hand. Body slam to Carl Anderson. Then a leg drop off the middle rope, which actually did look very nice. Could you imagine, Nick, if Eddie Kingston beat Kenny Omega for that title? Be pretty wild, man. I mean, we're going to see some big New York wins that day. Not even a question. AEW does like to go for more feel-good moments than any other promotion that I can remember. And, I guess for when it comes to the New York show, that'll be a good thing. So, Gallows broke up a count, kicking Kazarian in the ribs, but Kazarian greeted Gallows with a kick and Carl Anderson with the spine buster. So now you have Carl Anderson and Kazarian out in the middle of the ring. We're at 11:54 p.m. You always got to pay attention to that clock. Now Penta gets the tag. Now I thought that was absolutely stupid because Matt Jackson got the hot tag. Penta got the hot tag. Matt Jackson runs to the corner of Penta, who is climbing the top rope. So what do you think he's going to do? Just wave at you? So Penta dives off and splashes Matt Jackson. A little bit too predictable. Matt Jackson gets the upper hand. Matt Jackson literally just went like this. Went to axe and purposely shot over. That's just sloppy, man. This is now indie quality. Nice DDT by Penta, though. Penta with a 2.5 count. They're chanting Penta's name. I haven't heard of This Is Awesome chant tonight, by the way. I don't think any match so far has had anywhere remotely of a This Is Awesome. This actually could get it, though. It's starting to pick up now. You got Eddie Kingston, Penta, and Kazarian all hitting moves on Matt Jackson in the corner. Now Penta with Matt Jackson with the fear factor. Wow, that was nice. Now Eddie Kingston, backdrop. Now you know Kazarian's going to do it, and Matt's going to kick out at 2. Double underhook, DDT. The Angel's wings. Look, 2 count. Gallows breaks it up, but you knew he wasn't going to get pinned. Ken terminated by DQ. What's up, Ken? The referees completely lost control. What else is new, Excalibur? Penta, clothesline in the corner to Carl Anderson, kick to Carl Anderson's head. Carl Anderson just sitting up waiting to get kicked again. Penta with a 2 count. I think we'll get a This Is Awesome chant any minute. They're still chanting Penta's name, though. I tell you, Penta is one of the most over wrestlers in AEW. I wish they would just keep him as a babyface. This main event would be a fun main event for any indie promotion on the land. Any indie promotion around the world, this would be a fun main event. I tell you, I'm actually pretty happy with the way AEW ended up positioning some of the matches tonight. I am pretty happy. Early on, very concerned where they were going to go with that. We have Gallows in the ring now with Penta. Gallows just tagged out to Carl Anderson. They're looking for the Magic Killer, but Kazarian nails Carl Anderson in the midsection. Nice super kick from Matt Jackson to Kazarian. Eddie Kingston with the half and half. Carl Anderson with a kick to Kingston. All right, here we go. Here comes the dive, everyone. You can see this a mile away. Here comes the dive. Watch. He hit the backstabber, but expect a dive. Here comes the dive. Penta goes outside the ring. Carl Anderson is laid out in the middle of the ring. Nick Jackson sprays that cold spray on Penta in the face. Carl Anderson climbing the top rope. Nice super cutter. 3 count. Wow. Oh, we didn't pay attention at the time. It's 11:59. I kid you not. It's 11:59. So they needed to end it abruptly. Yeah. Look, you know, falling back on the Young Bucks interfering, it's getting a little bit overkill. It happened with Moose versus Omega. You know, as I brought up last week, I think Impact Wrestling assumed that almost all their fans were also AEW fans and had to love the Young Bucks. And a lot of people were very unhappy of what happened last week. And I can't wait for the rating that comes out for Impact Wrestling last night. Last week was like 122. All those ratings that I gave you, none of those websites told you about them. They waited a month to give them to you because they were so horrible. This is Kenny Omega is your champion. So anyway, we are off the air. Silence. Silence. So, as far as Friday night, 10 p.m. to midnight, average show at best. What do I think the rating is going to be? I truly think they break 600,000 this time around. I think this time around they do maybe 622. 622. Which, would be a typical NXT rating on, well, no, whoa. Excuse me. They did 480 something last week. No, they ain't breaking 6. No. I thought they did 5 last week. No. They will do, I think they break 5. I'd be really surprised if they go backwards. I will say 515. 515. But again, once they go back to Wednesday night, the ratings will go back to normal. Fans did not desert AEW. They did not give up on AEW. It's just Friday night, 10 p.m. to midnight. AEW is not at the top of their list. It's just a fact. So, General Azeez hits the Nigerian nail on Kevin Owens, hits him again with it, and Kevin Owens, just gasping for air in the middle of the ring. Sami Zayn goes to the back, and Sami Zayn is kissing the monitor, which is hilarious. Sami Zayn talking about how he'll do this forever. And this leads to Kevin Owens demanding a match against Sami Zayn once again. And Adam Pearce grants it. So at Hell in a Cell, we will see Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I'll tell you the truth. I would have been ecstatic if Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn was in Hell in a Cell, because they are best friends and they tear it up whenever they're in the ring. Forget WWE. Go back to what they used to do in Ring of Honor and other promotions. Imagine if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were told you two could go at it in Hell in a Cell, inside the cell. I think they would have made one of the most memorable cell matches ever. But we're not getting. We're just getting a regular one-on-one match. Battle of the Crowns. Battle of the Crowns. What I thought was stupid about all of this is it's King Corbin's crown in the first place. So Adam Pearce last week agrees to have a match between Shinsuke and King Corbin. The winner of the match keeps the crown. Now, before the match started today, they had the crown near like a king's chair, kind of reminiscent of King of the Ring, and it's in the back by the Titantron. So Corbin comes out to walk to the ring, and he walks past the crown, and he looks at the crown as he's walking by. Now, in storyline, for the last 4 weeks, why didn't Corbin just grab the crown and run away? It's his fucking crown. He looks at it and walks to the ring. I know I'm kind of being a little stickly here, but I thought that was pretty stupid about it. They reminded us that they were 2-2 in the win department, so this turned into a best of 5. And you have Boogs, at ringside as well. But I tell you, this match felt a little bit abrupt as well. Back and forth, but towards the end, Nakamura gets a little bit of offense, knee to the face, Kinshasa, and gets the abrupt win. So Boogs, Nakamura sits on the chair. Boogs puts the crown on Nakamura, and Corbin is crying in the ring. Now, you might remember about 3 or 4 months ago, I actually even put in the title of one of the YouTube episodes, and I said that WWE is considering doing King of the Ring this year as a special episode of SmackDown. Now, on the cusp of what we just had with Nakamura and Corbin with the crown, now there's more rumors floating around that a King of the Ring themed SmackDown will in fact happen later this year. If that happens, I don't expect it to happen for a little whiles away. And especially with the draft, once they officially announce that, you might have some people in this tournament that aren't even on SmackDown right now. So we will see. Is Courtney Summers hanging out tonight? Yes, she is. Courtney, what's up? She is my sister from another mister. And, I know a lot of you know about her road to recovery, which has ended on a positive note right now. So much love as always. And big shout out to everybody who's hanging out. I know it's after midnight, and I know there's a lot of other things we could all be doing on a Friday. So I thank you for sticking around tonight. Fun night. Pretty busy night for yours truly. So I definitely want to start winding down and get a good night's sleep today. And then Sunday is Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all of you out there. For everybody whose dads and granddads are no longer on this earth, my thoughts are with you sincerely. And, if you lost a loved one recently, as I've always said to others, and I did this for my grandmother in 1991, you live your life, keep their legacy alive by living your life and doing things that they would have done. Let their legacy live on through what you do. And I swear on Stack of Bibles, we're going to get right back to the recap, but to this day, I still have relatives, and my aunt said it to me 2 weeks ago. I said something and I did something. I know what it was. My niece's, my goddaughter's graduation party. Like, I got up and I wanted to get my mom some food and a drink. She's like, no, I'll get up. And I could tell she didn't want to get. I insisted on doing it. Then I asked everyone else if they want some. And then I don't remember exactly how I said it, but my aunt said, that's your grandmother talking. That's your grandmother talking. Like little things that I say and do still to this day. And she died in 1991. And I think even though I'm blessed to still have my parents with us, I try to do things every day where some people say to me, oh, that's your mom. When I get a real bad attitude and I get pissed off and angry, that's your father. That's this. So, anyway. So, I think we are going to lead to King of the Ring. The big question is it going to be this crown? I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I want random people every year wearing this crown. I don't think that's something that should be a visible thing. So, I don't know what happens with the crown. Let me put it this way. Do I think Nakamura and Corbin, the story with this crown ended tonight? No, I don't think so. I think it continues. Bianca Belair, she came out there. I was very surprised at people out there that never saw Bianca Belair's legs before. Like, I thought some of those skits that she did, you saw her actual legs, but tonight she wasn't wearing the one-piece outfit. She was showing her legs, and I was just in amazement how many people, because I was in Thunderdome, but I was also on social media, monitoring if anybody got any screenshots when I was on doing the Thunderdome. But I was looking at, a lot of feedback, and I was amazed how many people that were talking about her legs. She's got thick legs, but athletic. And Bianca's promo tonight, yeah, it's still bringing up bullying and things that happened in her past. But I thought this was one of her best promos since being on the main roster. I'm not feeling the Hell in a Cell match yet. And I don't mean the match. I mean fighting inside the cell. I know there's a lot of bullying and tormenting and laughing at each other and mocking each other. That doesn't feel like a blood feud, if you know what I mean. So I don't know how that's going to turn out, but that's an awful big challenge for these two women. I'm pretty confident they'll deliver, but again, I would have rather have seen Cesaro versus Rollins in the cell, or I would have been happy with Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in the cell. But as we talked about for a few weeks, WWE wanted a women's match to be one of the cell matches. They want to do that almost every year. We have a men's Hell in a Cell. We have a women's Hell in a Cell. And maybe that's also the reason why they took Roman and Rey off of Hell in a Cell. You're not going to do 3 Hell in a Cell matches. I know it sounds, why not? They want to keep it at 2. So Rey and Roman were bumped. So Bianca and Bayley, who already had a match, was moved to inside the cell. And again, WWE is holding the cards because a month from now, we're all going to forget about this pay-per-view. And we're going to have so much energy. You're going to have Becky Lynch returning. You're going to have Edge returning. You're going to maybe have Brock Lesnar make an appearance. You're going to have WWE bring back a couple of people who were released in the last year or two. You're going to have possibly some people being graduated to the main roster from NXT. You know, so there's going to be some things happening. Bayley comes out. They have a little bit of physical confrontation. Bayley grabs Bianca's hair and gets the upper hand. Bayley holds the women's championship up in the air, and they do once again where every LED screen is showing Bayley holding up the championship and Bianca is laid out. You know for a fact there ain't no chance that Bianca's losing that title at Hell in a Cell. Angelo Dawkins versus Otis never started. If you remember about 2 weeks ago, I said Angelo Dawkins, illness, little weak, not ready to return. I don't know if today had anything to do with that, but you know, we thought they were going to have a match, but instead we had, you know, just basically a clusterfuck. You know, you had, and I don't know if this leads to the Street Profits versus Chad Gable and Otis as a pre-show match at King of the Ring would not surprise me. I know, yeah, Harris, I know some people are comparing Otis to Chris Farley. Yeah, I mean, look, as a heel, I wish they would have cut his beard off last year. I wish they would have taken it off last year. That should have been the first thing that they did when they turned him heel. They should have gave him a dramatic look, and he looks more like a asshole. You know, I can't explain it, but he doesn't look like this lovable, cuddly guy now, you know, to a lot of people. He looks like an asshole. He looks like somebody that would just fuck with you for no reason. It's like someone, if you're eating in a restaurant, he walks by, he just grabs your food out of your plate and eats it in front of you, and you can't do nothing about it. They should have took the beard off last year. Don't know why it took them this long to think that, but I'm liking the Otis stuff. Eventually, they'll turn him babyface again. Absolutely. When you get live fans back and it stays for a little bit, you will see Otis back as a babyface. So, Chad Gable comes out there, and we have like a double team, and Angelo Dawkins is left laying, so no match occurs. Seth Rollins telling Cesaro that that Cesaro disgusts him, claimed everything that he does is a disgrace, and Rollins promised to put Cesaro in his place on Sunday. You know, it's all right. It's all right. But I said it the night of WrestleMania Backlash, those two guys needed to be in a cell. With everything that's going on, that should have come to that conclusion. I know by now some people thought that Rollins would have already started a feud with Roman Reigns, which I don't even know if it's going to happen. You got the rumors of John Cena possibly coming back in time for the summer a little bit. There's so many things being thrown around. But they will fight at Hell in a Cell, but it'll just be a regular match. Then we get the main event tonight. You know, Roman Reigns retaining his championship, beating Rey Mysterio. As I said earlier, for me, it felt like a regular cage match. Rey made it feel extremely special and important early on. His promo was emotional, believable, made sense, passionate. Roman Reigns, methodical. Everything he said made you invested in. You realize at the beginning of the show, holy shit, they are going to have the match. You know, the only part that might have, you know, swerved some people, including me, is when Roman said, okay, now I'm going to do things my way. And I said, oh, okay, somebody's going to come out there and fight Rey instead of Roman. But we ended up having a match. And I thought the match was excellent. I mean, you saw some of the repeated offense that these two guys have had. You had Roman Reigns throw Rey Mysterio. Obviously, they were in a cell, so Rey couldn't go too far. But he threw Rey into the side of the cell, and it looked the camera angle, the way they did it again. It looked like the same thing when Roman tossed Dominic on either a bunch of pillows last week or a few people who caught the fall. It was an excellent main event. Problem for me, 3 commercial breaks. The time, I don't know if it was managed perfectly, because that guillotine felt like it came out of nowhere. I personally would have been happy with that match going another 5 minutes, even 10. If you look at some of the stuff that we had tonight, we probably could have chopped off a little bit here, a little bit there, and gave them 5 more minutes. But, you know, that's the beauty about pay-per-view matches. No commercial interruptions. When you start getting invested in it, you start feeling it, and you start getting focused, and you start getting really, really into a match where you're at the edge of your seat, and then it gets interrupted 3 times by commercials. That just knocks the wind out of everything, in my opinion. I hate having big matches. You know what they should have done at minimum? They should have announced that main event was going to be commercial free. Or you take 1 commercial and you say the rest of the match will be commercial free. But every time you started to get into the match, we go to commercial. Roman Reigns, Rey is handing him his ass. Roman gets the upper hand, and before it, you go right to commercial. Then it happens again. I hate the commercial breaks. How could you advertise that it's the most important match in SmackDown history, and then it loses its momentum with 3 commercial breaks? So, thank you, Chris, for the kind words. You know, it's just an opinion, but I know a lot of people are agreeing with this. You know, and with all these commercial breaks, I understand, you know, the sponsors have to get their airtime, but I personally think they could have budgeted it a little bit better. That's why with those extra commercials airing, because they needed to have a certain number of breaks throughout the night, you get the guillotine out of nowhere. And then Roman continues a little offense after the match is over, and Jimmy Uso he actually raises Roman's hand. And I was writing on the chat room earlier, Jimmy, kick him. Kick him. Kick him. Just please, kick him. You know, like, take this to a different, I don't want to just see Jimmy or Jay or anybody just standing there going off of SmackDown, just watching Rey get his ass handed to him a little bit further. I do believe eventually Jimmy will stand there and watch Roman do something and have enough stop him. Or maybe he kicks him. Yes, there was a couple of points early in the night, SoFly, that I honestly thought they were going to a commercial break and they didn't. And, you know, now you realize towards the end of the night that it really, to me, just hurt the momentum of Hell. It did not feel like, you know, the most important match in SmackDown history. But, again, you know, when you have them say the best wrestlers, the biggest match, the most important this, the best thing ever, the biggest match here, that's them just overhyping stuff. It's been going on in decades of wrestling. That's why I still don't understand why Thunder Rosa and others got offended when Triple H said that the NXT women are the greatest women in the world. Any promotion would say that about their employees. So I don't know why people get triggered about stuff like that. So I don't think Jimmy is playing Roman in storyline, because that'd be pretty messed up to allow Roman to continue abusing other people and just playing. I think Jimmy will get fed up and then snap. That's where I think this is going. So, couple of super chats. Then I'm going to give you predictions for Hell in a Cell, and then I'm going to get out of here. So, big shout out, Steve Joseph. Brian Cage is the headline of an independent wrestling show tomorrow night. He's going to the show. It's in Miami, and it's for Miami Coastal Championship Wrestling. Have a good time, man. You know, Brian Cage is phenomenal. I wish people out there could get past the fact that he lost to Tessa Blanchard. You know, I know a lot of people just can't accept that. I don't know if they can't accept it because a woman beat someone on the level of Brian Cage, or because people don't like Tessa Blanchard and she beat Brian. I don't know what it is, but that was what Impact Wrestling was doing at the time. Tessa Blanchard was going through everybody. And we all knew that was happening. If anything, I give Brian Cage credit for, just another day at the office. Had a decent match. I'm surprised at how many people out there that still have a problem with that match. Still have a problem with it. I'm looking, and 205 Live results. 205 Live results. Grayson Waller over Asher Hale. Ikemen Hero over Tony Nese. And that is it for 205 Live. I still do not have the results if Karrion Kross and Bronson Reed did wrestle against each other tonight. Don't know. I'll probably will have to save that for Monday. Maybe Sunday night I could mention it briefly. But so nothing yet. Nothing yet. So have a good time, man. Brian Cage is phenomenal. You know what would be great about your experience tomorrow night? They'll let him go longer. So Brian Cage will probably go about 15 minutes. And that's an awful long time for somebody of Brian Cage's size to go that long. Brian Cage can go. He can go. So you will not be disappointed tomorrow. Have a great time, seriously. Joe. Oh my God, Joe, thank you. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Joe says, thank you for the gear. He's going to try to get some time off to work for AEW in September. If not, I got to rephrase that. He's not taking time off to work in AEW for AEW. He's trying to take time off from work so we could get together in September for AEW. If not, he's already got his ticket for the big event. Joe, I am definitely going to the big event. In fact, I don't want to say this, because I don't want to overhype stuff. But, I had someone reach out to me back with the Chiller conventions that said to me, DT, put a table out there. Bring your Deli Man shit. People will take pictures with Deli Man for the Chiller convention just because of the character, the way it looks and everything with the salami and everything else. And I never did it because I had so many people put in my head, like, who is this guy? Thinking that, he should be doing promos and photos and stuff. But, someone suggested that to me with this. I don't think that's possible because all the names are headliners, but I am 100% definite for the big event in November. And JBL is going to be there, so I'm looking forward to meeting him. As of right now, Aleister Black is going to be there too. You'll get the opportunity to take a picture with him and get an autograph as well. There's a couple other names. Emma will be there as well. There's some names rumored. I don't want to break anything until it's made official. The big event is a convention that airs in Queens, New York, once a year, I'm assuming. And last February, they did one of these events in February of 2020, right before COVID shut everything down. And I was there. Mish was there. Pretty much everybody was there. I mean, Joey Numbers couldn't make it because he lives in Boston and he couldn't get off work. But pretty much everybody else, represented. And we hung out with so many of you. And Undertaker was there. Braun Strowman was there. Hall, Nash, Jimmy Hart. I mean, it was just loaded. If you want to look at it, go Google big event, New York, February 2020, and look at the lineup. It was insane. And it was just awesome, too, just hanging out with a bunch of people. I got to hang out with Bill Apter again. I told that story that he still remembered the XPW stuff that we were involved in which was epic. It made me feel like $1 million. I fucking love Bill Apter. That guy is one of my favorite people ever in wrestling. And seeing some faces that I haven't seen in a very long time. Hung out with Matt Hardy. You know, you've seen the picture from that day. So we had a great time, man. We had a great time. So it's going to return again this November. And I'm there. I'm there. So it's not even a question. So we will definitely get together. Absolutely. And Joe, thank you for that, my friend. Seriously, you didn't have to do it. It was very, very kind of you. I really appreciate that. And thank you. Seriously. You know I'll return the favor. So we come down and look, I don't want to mention her name because I don't want to put focus, but is a good friend of the family. And she was there for the big event also. And she wanted to meet Matt Hardy. But she also wanted to meet The Undertaker. And she didn't have, you know, really the fundage to drop it on Matt Hardy and The Undertaker. So I told her, don't worry about it. So Rob Feinstein, who is a very, very good guy, you know, I know about, you know, I remember all that controversy stuff, but he turned out to be a phenomenal guy. And he hooked me up, and she got to meet Matt Hardy for nothing. So, Joe, I will work my magic, and we'll see. We'll see. We'll see who's going to show up there. But, yeah, Lee, Rob is good people, man. Rob is one of those guys, you know, that early on, you know, we thought the worst, and rightfully so. And as time would go on, you'd have more and more people, you know, that would really step up to bat for him. And, you know, over the years, he proved it. You know, only time really proves, you know, someone. And I don't even want to say he changed. I just think the situation that happened at that time, a lot of truth was never brought out there. Especially that chat log. Those things were manipulated. Take note why law enforcement never got involved. Those were manipulated for TV. And it's fucked up because, you know, some of those people who were outed during those years, look, there was tons and tons of pedophiles that got caught and busted. And in fact, I can't remember the guy's name. Somebody, my neck of the woods, guy I know in this neighborhood, last week, I met him about 3 years ago. I went for a haircut the other day. And about 3 years ago, I met him at a mutual party. And when I went for my haircut early this week, he's like, do you remember so-and-so? I can't remember his name right now. But if you Google it, you'll find it in 2 seconds when I explained to you. So he's like, do you remember so-and-so? I'm like, no, who is that? He's like, you remember the guy with the weird hair that he had that really pedophilic look on his face at the party? Everybody was like, something's off about that guy. And I'm like, hey, what happened with him? I thought he maybe died from COVID or something. And he says, look at this. And it was all over the news earlier this week, CNN, everywhere else. The FBI arrested him because he was going to Thailand every year to have sex with kids. That was something that you have heard over the years, that some wrestlers would fly to Thailand to fulfill some fantasies, if you know what I mean. It's disgusting. And this guy just got busted early this week that the FBI was on to him. He's from my neck of the woods. I met him. The guy who looked like a creep. You Google it. All you got to type in is New York, FBI, man arrested, Thailand, sex. I guarantee you before I finish my prediction, someone in the chat room is going to mention his name too. It's a fucked up story. But, you know, only time was going to show that Rob wasn't the creep that early on we thought he was. You go in the Wayback Machine, you'll still see that picture that I did of Home Alone, and Feinstein is in the background in the window. I wish I had the picture available now. I would show it to you. I mean, at the time, it was like a really fucked up picture. I mean, people laughed their ass off. But, you know, I took the Home Alone DVD cover and I put Feinstein in the window. I don't know if it's CNN's website, but if you just Google, just type in New York man arrested, sex, Thailand, you'll find it. 2 seconds. Nick Hasman. Does XPW's homeless Jimmy Webb finally found a home? I have no idea. Homeless Jimmy, man, I tell you, I freaking loved that gimmick when he first came around with the shopping cart. No, he was not a wrestler, Harris. Long Island, New York is where he lived. So I know people are checking it out now. Just look up Long Island man arrested, sex, kids, Thailand. You'll find it. I guarantee you'll find it. Long Island man arrested, sex, children, Thailand. XPW's homeless Jimmy, when he used to come out with the shopping cart looking all disheveled and then having the fight, it was excellent character, man. Excellent gimmick. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I know recently Rob Black posted that picture of him holding the XPW title, talking about wanting to do a tournament. I brought this up last week. As much as I loved XPW and had the privilege to work for them in the Northeast and so many incredible memories that you can never take away from me, even I say, right out of COVID, no way, shape, or form is XPW needed. Doing a tournament for a different promotion simply because Nick Gage is getting a lot of TV time right now, I think is foolish. Yeah, okay. Courtney Summers found it. What's his name? There you go. Joshua Lampley. There you go. Sick bastard. You want to see something fucked up? I went to a party and met this guy. And weird looking guy, man. I don't make stuff up. Like I said, when I tell you stories, 9 times out of 10, I got proof to back it up. You know, so yeah, people looking up right now. Joshua Lampley. I want you to, if any of you go look that story up later, I want you to think about this. Without naming names, and I would never name names because unless I saw it with my own eyes, I would never accuse anybody of that ultimate, disgusting, criminal, unforgivable behavior. But wrestlers back in the day would love, not all, but some wrestlers back in the day would love going to Thailand, sometimes Japan, and they would go obviously to wrestle, but they would also go to fulfill some weird fantasies. And if you think that that is way out there, look up this guy that I just told you about. I mean, you go to a country like that and you only have to drop $15. I mean, for certain things, it's disgusting, strange, and people would do that. Oh, that's horrible, man. That's horrible. That's crazy shit. Oh, yeah. Jeffrey Epstein vibe. And just think about that. He went to Thailand, and the FBI was still able to grab him. Crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. Joshua Lampley. Very sick. But Nick, Homeless Jimmy's character, I'm a little surprised we haven't seen it recreated over the years. I thought that was an awesome character. XPW had some really interesting shit. I still say it to this day. I got to reach out to this guy. I got to reach out to 2 guys, Vic Grimes, Pogo the Clown, because those were 2 people that I absolutely loved the conversations and the friendship that we created with the XPW stuff. And the Vic Grimes one was funny because how I even got friendly with Vic Grimes, and I could tell the story again. It's not a big deal. Back in 2000 and 2001, I was selling on eBay a VHS tape. And I still have the porn in a box somewhere, the VHS tape. Chastity, that was an ECW that then went to WCW for a little while. Remember Chastity? She was in a porn called Live Bait. It was oral sex video. It was her and another woman and a guy. And I bought 3 of the VHS tapes when it first came out. Now they're worth, I don't know how much. But what I did was I took that scene, I took the Beulah McGillicuddy Silver Bullet scene. Then I needed to add other footage to it, so I put the Kimono Wanalea striptease dance atop the ECW arena, and then I took the Pamela Anderson, Tommy Lee video that they did on the top of the boat, and then the wedding night of Tanya Harding. Don't ask me why. Tanya Harding, only because she was going to do stuff in wrestling at that time. If you don't know the story about Tanya Harding and wrestling, look up Tanya Harding, Conan, Eddie Guerrero. Just look it up. You'll be amazed. I don't know if anybody's ever told you those stories, but don't ask me why. I put women in wrestling, and then I added Tanya Harding and Pamela Anderson. So I sold it on eBay for, I think, $15 a tape, and I sold hundreds of them. One of the first times that I hung out with Vic Grimes, we were in the hotel room, and he says to me, he's like, next time you come down, can you bring one of those tapes? I was like, yeah, sure. I didn't even think to like ship it to him or anything like that, but the next time around, I brought the tape and I gave it to him. And I love talking to that guy. I never brought up the New Jack stuff for people that are asking. Never brought up the New Jack stuff. Very, very sensitive topic. Pogo the Clown, even though he had his character, obviously, is, you know, one of the worst wrestling characters in the history of wrestling, if you think about it. That guy was one of the coolest motherfuckers as well. That guy drove a truck long distance for a living more than anything else. And the guy was just an awesome guy to talk to. And obviously, once XPW no longer went in the Northeast, I never bothered to reach out to anybody. But not Cameron Grimes, Vic Grimes. Vic Grimes. Come on, you know Vic Grimes, infamous fall, New Jack. So, anyway, one more super chat, then we'll do predictions and call it. Rye Baker, what is the best wrestling book I've ever read? This is a true fact. I don't read books. In my last 30 years on this earth, I might have read 4 books. I read manuals. I look at things online. I do the audible stuff. I liked the Hogan stuff only because on Audible, hearing these stories that are exaggerated, you know, it was pretty funny hearing it that way. But I tell you, Mick Foley kept my attention. Chris Jericho's book was awesome as well, his first one. But most of the books I do Audible. And for those out there that don't know what Audible is, instead of sitting in your bed and reading a book, you get a subscription, you pay money or whatever it is, and you could listen to the book. Somebody narrates it. I think Jim Ross narrated his book. I don't know if Charlotte narrated her book. I have Charlotte's book still in my office. They sent me a complimentary one before it even came out to be printed. But most books, I always do Audible. I honestly don't read, Benjamin. I think the only non-wrestling book that I thought about reading was Bill O'Reilly. He had a book out like 15 or 20 years ago that I read maybe 10 pages of it and I stopped. There's this guy, Daryl Eves, on YouTube. He came out with a book about 6 months ago. Daryl Eves, his name is. And he is a master on YouTube. And I actually came this close of hiring him to help me with my channel. But I didn't want to take the channel way too seriously. Like, I just wanted to enjoy doing the shows with all of you right now and just build up, a schedule and getting used to it. When I'm ready to take it to the next level, I will. I bought his book, and I read only 2 chapters so far. But if you look at my page, the one thing, like I brought up the other day, you see significantly changed is the thumbnails. I have worked hard to make better thumbnails. If you notice, I don't really pay much attention to the overlays now because the overlays, I don't think people care all that much if I do an overlay or if I just talk like this, or, you know what I mean? It's, but the thumbnails is what catches someone's eye to watch. That's what I've been working on for the last month and a half. And it's not easy because I'm not familiar with a lot of these programs. But so books. Oh, yeah, Lee knows Daryl Eves. I like Daryl Eves. I like it. Actually, his show is what inspired me for even though my background is blue. What the hell is that blue? Oh, it's the keyboard. He's got the purple background, which is what I like. So I'm always looking to improve my stuff. That's why, like I say, I don't mean to be rude about it, but, I'm always here for any of you out there that are starting out a podcast, maybe have one, whether it's a little collab that a lot of people talk about, or if you just need a little bit opinions or suggestions, absolutely. But, the days of me spending hours and hours and hours to do other people's work just to, you know what I mean? It's like, nah, those days are over. I just don't have enough time for that. I got to worry about my own stuff. And just like all of you out there, you got to put yourself number one. Your listeners and everybody else, but you got to put yourself number one. If you don't take control and you don't do this stuff yourself, you'll never go far, because then you got to depend on everybody else to do every little thing for you. And if those people are not around, then you make excuses why you're not doing shows. And there's a lot of podcasts that do that. I started following a few people that, a year ago said to me, oh man, it'd be awesome if you follow me and this and that. I'm just launched a podcast, and I go check it out and there's no activity for 6 months. And then you look at their social feed. Oh, I'm having a computer problem today. Oh, my sound card doesn't want to agree with me. What the hell does that mean? What'd you do? Feed it spicy food? Like, people just make excuses week after week after week after week after week. So, I appreciate you doing this as a super chat, Roger Rubio. Everyone out there, smash that like button. If you would be so kind to do that for a moment, that would be greatly appreciated. And let's do predictions. Hell in a Cell. Now, one last time, I will look to see if there's anything else been added, and the answer is no. So we have Hell in a Cell this Sunday. 6 matches announced. And let me also bring this up. Thank you, Roger, again. The fact that Roman and Rey are not in the cage and Bianca and Bayley are, I don't expect Bianca and Bayley to go as long as what Rey and Roman did. So I'm thinking this pay-per-view at the most goes 3 hours. Would not be surprised if it goes less than 3. But I'm assuming around 3 hours at the max. I don't see this going beyond 11 o'clock Sunday night. You're very welcome, Chris, too. But the matches, the outcomes are very predictable, in my opinion. Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. Last chance Hell in a Cell match for the WWE Championship. If Drew McIntyre loses, he never could fight Bobby for the WWE Championship again. That's very, very, got to think of those words. Because back in the day, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s especially the 80s and the 90s, the stipulation people would say is, if you lose this match, you can never go for the title again. Look at what they did with Cody. One day, Cody will fight for the AEW heavyweight title. What they will do is they will milk it for a couple of years, and then something will happen in the storyline, and Cody, I keep my word, I'll never fight for the title, and that's going to lead to fans begging, pleading, starting, these groups and telling people to sign petitions, let Cody fight for the title again. That's going to be a giant storyline, and it's all planned out already. Cody will fight for the AEW heavyweight title again. They, right now, are planting the seeds. You wait until the right moment happens when a world champion attacks Cody, and then I have my word, I will not go for the title. I'll fight you, but I'm not fighting for the title. And the fans will be like, no, man, things are meant to be broken. It's that. No, and then you got fans even louder, signing petitions, 1 million people, please. And then Cody will say, okay. And then the fans are going to feel like they got what they wanted. Because this is pro wrestling. It's sports entertainment. It is scripted. It is choreographed. The activity and the work is real. The pain is real. But everything is a script. And that storyline, you think they did that storyline just to have 1 week to have a great rating? Or one pay-per-view to have a decent buy rate? And then fuck up all the main event title matches Cody could have had since then? No, that was done for a bigger storyline in the future. So, yeah, Cody could dedicate the title to his daughter. I could see that too. But you see with Drew McIntyre, they didn't say you can't have a challenge for the WWE Championship ever again. They said you can't challenge for the WWE Championship while Bobby is champion. Drew McIntyre will lose Sunday. The question is if anybody gets involved. And I know there's a lot of ideas being floated around. I love a lot of your ideas. We will know in 48 hours. But Bobby Lashley will be retaining. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte. As much as I feel this is prime for Charlotte to get that title back, especially with all the losses that she's getting and everything like that, I just feel WWE is not ready to take the championship off of Rhea Ripley yet. She just showed up. She had the WrestleMania match as her first match on, technically on the roster, being officially in the Raw roster. That was only 2 months ago. So I personally think Rhea Ripley is going to retain. Bianca Belair versus Bayley, Hell in a Cell. I hope it's good. Again, no reason to take the title off of Bianca Belair right now. It's going to be interesting to see if Sasha Banks makes her return on Sunday. I don't know. But no matter what, Bianca Belair retains that championship. Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler. That dumb voodoo shit they're doing with Reginald, I think that comes into play. Why is Reginald showing up for Shayna Baszler stuff now? I expect Reginald to make an appearance. Alexa Bliss will give him the evil eye. Reginald will go into a trance and either do something to Shayna or cause Shayna the win. I wish Bray Wyatt would make a return. I don't know if he would return. Even if you tease it, if you could have Alexa Bliss win, so be it. But then you tease after, maybe Bray Wyatt returning. But I think Alexa Bliss wins. I think she wins. I know some people feel Shayna Baszler should get the win after the garbage that we got for those 2 weeks. I feel otherwise. I think Alexa Bliss, to try to get the upper hand with this character and the stuff, what they've been doing, I think Alexa Bliss gets the win, even though I don't want her to get that win. It's not a knock on Alexa Bliss, though. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. This is the wild card because you really don't know who's going to come out on top. I mean, you look at WrestleMania and you look at the last bunch of months with Sami Zayn, and for me, the way things are going, it feels like Kevin Owens should get this win. Sami Zayn is hilarious with the trolling and the dancing and everything. But, the way that Kevin Owens keeps getting the short end of the stick lately, especially because you need to have some of these guys feel like they're getting some momentum. My ass is starting to fall asleep. Remember, I sat in my office all day long. Then I sat in a diner. Then I sat here on Thunderdome since 7:10, and now it's almost 1 a.m., so my ass is numb. So I'm going to go with Kevin Owens to win. Kevin Owens to win. And Cesaro versus Seth Rollins, one-on-one. I told everybody that Cesaro's elevation to main event status was short-lived. And they immediately went and shifted into the Seth Rollins storyline to get him as far away from that main event championship as possible, the Universal title. And, you know, Cesaro did, you know, get a win off of Seth Rollins not too long ago. WrestleMania Backlash. No, wait, was it WrestleMania Backlash? No, actually, I don't remember the other pay-per-view, but no, that was that WrestleMania itself? Wasn't WrestleMania Backlash him versus Roman? Anyway, regardless, Cesaro already has a win on Seth Rollins. I don't think Cesaro needs 2 wins in a row. Yes, thank you, WrestleMania. I knew it had to have been that. So Cesaro's already got 1 win. If Seth Rollins is going to have any momentum, I don't even know if he's going to go up against Roman Reigns. I know a lot of people talked about that a month ago. I just don't feel it right now. And Seth Rollins, they obviously need to shift a different direction. Is somebody going to show up that we're not thinking about? I don't know. But right now, how I feel about it, I think Cesaro needs a second win to establish himself as a major player, since WWE is not planning on doing that. But I just don't feel that happening. Now, when you go back and you look at the predictions we just went over, there's people predicting the win. Bobby Lashley, heel. Rhea Ripley, I think they're slowly building her back as a babyface. When Rhea says that she respects Nikki Cross, it's a telltale sign. So we got 1 heel, 1 babyface. The heels will be here. The babyface will be here. You have Bianca Belair, babyface. Alexa Bliss, heel. Kevin Owens, babyface. Seth Rollins, heel. 3-3. They could have 4 babyfaces win and 2 heels win, but I'm leaning towards Seth Rollins. I think he does something sneaky to get the win. So I'm going to go with Seth Rollins, even though, let me make it clear, I think Cesaro needs this win, especially with the momentum, with everything he's been doing to try to get revenge on Seth Rollins. I think Cesaro needs another win, but I got a bad feeling about it. So anyway, with that said, we are going to exit. So, interesting week, because I think almost every episode, the times were almost identical. Yeah, we had some great conversation, a lot of fun. I will be up here Sunday night giving you a Hell in a Cell recap. Good thing about it is, since there are such low number of matches, we should be able to get through them super fast. I mean, with all due respect, you know, what do you think is really going to happen that's going to make us talk so long about Cesaro and Rollins, or Owens and Zayn? I mean, what could we say about Owens and Zayn that we haven't seen before? You know, so what really is going to come down to is, if anybody shows up making a surprise, if anybody turns, and if we have any title changes, and what will happen in the Alexa Bliss Shayna Baszler match. So anyway, so just to let everybody know about contests, there will be a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view predictions contest for our YouTube channel members. We'll probably just keep it simple. 1 cash prize winner. That's it. 1 winner. Well, the tiebreaker, I already know which match we're going to use as a tiebreaker. So I will post that thread up Saturday afternoon. You'll have about 24 hours to post your predictions. Very easy. The outcome of the 6 matches and a tiebreaker predicting the match time of a certain match. You're going to do the same thing on Patreon, and same setup as always. 6 matches, tiebreaker, cash winner, done. So look out for that. They'll both be posted Saturday afternoon, and you'll have until Sunday around 3 p.m. to post your predictions. So everyone, I'm going to jet out of here. Thank you for an awesome week. You know, if I could say something personal for a second, after getting the not so great news last week about the prostate stuff, and thinking about it more and more that I might actually go ahead and get the surgery done, because I don't think I need to get a radiation seed put in me. I'm thinking, because I keep thinking about this every day, and I'm thinking maybe I should just get it done, get it out of the way so I could get my mind clear and focus, on getting married and stuff like that. So this past week especially, being able to hang out with all of you and talk for so many hours about so many different things, you helped me a great deal as well. I truly believe that. That's why, like I say, when you see the bullshit, with other people and stuff like that, you think about real life, and I'm like, yeah, this is kind of more important right now, than other things. But I thank you very much. Much love, everyone. Have a great weekend, and stay safe. With this close, as far as, my country, our country, with this close, pandemic is about to be over. For everybody in different countries that are still, having a lot of issues, be careful. Be careful. And even if you live in my neck of the woods where there's virtually no COVID cases anymore, still be careful. This virus has a lot of unpredictability to it, and, you could let your guard down, but still be very careful of your surroundings. We'll be good. We'll be good to go. And trust me, when we get to September for AEW, if anybody wears a mask, I totally respect it. I'm not going to tell anybody to take the mask off, but, we'll be comfortable enough that we can, share a hug, and you want to know something? When I went to the big event last February, and I know some of them are listening right now, some friends of the show that I had never met in person, male and female, that I met there, I'm a hugger. I'm not a passionate hugger where you touchy, but I'm one of those, and that's from, hanging out with people in wrestling. You go up to someone, you give them a little hug, a little embrace. And when we hung out at the big event, COVID was out, but we had no idea that it was going to become a pandemic. We just knew that something was floating around. And I had met a few people there, and Mish was right there, and I hugged a bunch of people. And after we stepped aside, I think we went to get coffee or something, I said to Mish, Mish, I think I made a whole bunch of people feel uncomfortable. And he's like, why? He said, because, me, I give, a little hug, innocent, nothing touchy, not Cuomo hugs. And I said, I think because of this, COVID thing going around, I think some people probably didn't want to get that close to people. And he's like, I don't think it's a big deal. So I felt awkward that day. But I think we'll be fine in September. Yeah. Oh, trust me, wearing a mask in 100-degree weather sucks. I had the freaking deli man mask on. Where is it? I don't know where I put it. Oh, it's over here. I had the deli man mask on earlier, and I had that on from 7:10 until 9:40. So I was 2.5 hours. I don't even know what that breath smells like right now. But I took it off. My hair's still messed up. I didn't have time to fix it. So imagine, Rey Mysterio wearing, he didn't wear it for 2.5 hours, but imagine wrestling and breathing heavy and through those masks as well. So, yeah, it was hot as hell. I drank at least 3 cans of bubbly. All right, everybody, I'm going to jet out of here. So thank you once again for tuning in. If you're around Sunday night, right after the pay-per-view, join me. I'll be here discussing the pay-per-view. And then Monday, I'll be right back with Mish for Breakfast Soup Raw. And as I've been doing for the last 2 weeks, I close out with the same outro as I always do. I thank you, everybody. Much love as always, and I'll see you possibly Sunday night. So take care, everybody.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. For me to live any other way was nuts. To me, those goody-good people who worked shitty jobs for bum paychecks and took the subway to work every day and worried about their bills were dead. They were suckers. They had no balls. If I wanted something, I just took it. I ran everything. I paid the bills. I paid the host. I even paid the masked maniac. Everybody had their hands out. Everything was for the taking. We always called each other good fellas. You would always hear from somebody. You're gonna like Don Tony. He's alright. He's a good fella. He's one of us. But if you're part of my crew, nobody ever tells you they're gonna get rid of you. It doesn't happen that way. There weren't any arguments or curses like in the movies. See, your haters come with smiles. They come as your friends, the people who've claimed they care the most for your life. And now that's all over. And that's the best part. Today everything is different. There's lots of action. I don't have to wait around for everything like everyone else. Oh, I didn't get the vaccine? Fuck you, vaccine me. Oh, your delivery guy has COVID? Fuck you, feed me. Right after I moved here, I ordered egg noodles and ketchup, and I got spaghetti with meat sauce. I'm no longer an average nobody, while they get to live the rest of their lives like a bunch of schnooks.